Because Willow will just be these dum-dums.
No, not these
The
dum-dums, just
gum-gums.
dum-dum in particular.
These dum-dums give me gum-gums.
This is a free country. Like, oh no.
Well, depends on where you come from.
I actually don't know if Noxterne is a country. I think a kingdom. I think. Anywho,
Does it have a
Well-
flag?
I suppose it does. It's probably also star-shaped.
I think it's a country. Though.
Mm.
If it has a flag, it has a country. That's what Eddie Izzard says anyway.
Can it be like a star? So instead of being like, for example, the American flag, you know, the rectangle and the stripes and all that, and then the stars, can it just be a star with everything else inside? It might just look like a cake at this point.
Most
Anywho.
likely.
Super swift transition. Last week, you all were you all went to a garden. Oh, I think I'm hearing myself doubled. Oh, okay.
Try now.
Hello.
Check, check.
Scooby Doo Boo Boo. Okay, cool. But yeah, last week y'all went to a garden where there was stories of a horse or some quadruped thing there. And upon entering the gardens, you started noticing there were a lot of things weird about it. More importantly, Jarell noticed some celestial entity just jumping around like crazy, like almost teleporting from one point to the other. And then as you proceeded to go into this sort of maze, you started noticing that, well, you started getting a little bit lost, but also found the remains of, whatever poor soul tried to go into the maze and didn't know what they were getting themselves into. And then you found, actually, I forgot to open my notes. And then you found, so you started hearing some clippity-clops happening behind you. And through some astute techniques and tactics from other things, you managed to spot the unicorn that was behind you. In part due to Willow's ability to sense sort of these type of beings. And Rivet proceeded to go on the ride of a lifetime. And yeah, it was dicey. But everything turned out actually okay, as Rivet managed to surprise everyone, and actually reach, let's say, talk to the unicorn, and the unicorn actually allied himself or themselves to your cause. You got the sense that it was concerned about Rivet's well-being, but yeah, congratulations, you got a unicorn. And then you proceeded to the unicorn helped sort of exit out of the maze, and you proceeded to make your way towards Lake Malgrave, where you heard of these odd tales of how the lake has connections to the ocean. The lake is technically a sea that is connected to the ocean, and about these. Well, while in town, you found out about this weird ritual where they kind of sacrifice like a pile of fish, basically, to whatever lives in the lake. And that is meant to kind of bring them good tidings for the rest of the year. Or for the rest of the time period that the dungeon master did not specify. But you started getting little hints that there was something spotted in a cave near the sort of the shoreline, and you decided to go investigate. You met up with some fishermen that were a little bit testy. They apparently, whatever's inside the cave, they want it because they can make money out of it. They can sell it. They can maybe just have a massive feast. But whatever it is, they suspect it is the thing responsible for this Bethudic ritual of sacrificing fish. And they, in their mind at least, whether they're right or not, that it remains to be seen. But they hope that by getting this thing that's inside the cave, will stop, or will lead to stopping whatever might lie in the lake, in the sea, and yeah, conversations were had, and well, let's just say that
Spells were cast and
part of certain aspects of the group were like not really like gelling well with the attitude that the fishermen had, and then Rivet decided to just be like, "Hey guys, trust me, I got this." Darkness was cast, and a ball of darkness started making its way towards the cave entrance, and yeah, I mean, people just it's basically like a mosh pit at this point, of people just pushing each other and fighting each other. But if I'm not mistaken, last we left this little adventure here, I believe who was it that made an appeal to the fisherman? Sure. Let's say I don't remember, precisely. But yeah, Crow made an appeal that just like, or no, I think in general there was this sort of idea of let us work with you. Yeah, it was Crow. Let us work with you. We go into the cave. We kind of like sort of shoulder to shoulder, and whatever might be inside, we have a better chance of survival if we go together. And with that, you started noticing that certain people in this sort of group of fishermen started like they definitely are on edge, but they are holding for some sort of command from their, or at least whoever seems to be leading this charge. So they're all kind of like looking at each other, a little bit, doubtful if they start, if they should shoot or if they should let you pass. And yeah. With that being said, I think we can handle this outside of initiative, but I'll leave the initiative for now. But basically, yeah, you notice that as you start proposing these things, you hear that the captain kind of definitely called off some issued an order for people to kind of stand down or at least hold. And this leader, let's say it's this blonde dude, just looks at you as a group and asks, what is it that you're proposing?
Then, well, you see him kind of dusting off some of the sand that's kind of just like breezed on him and all of that, just like dusting it off and just like making sure that Willow is calm, just like, are you okay, Willow? You're not going to...
I'm calm. I am calm.
Yeah, keep a muzzle on that one, yeah?
Angry old halfling.
Crow is like kind of gently pulling her back and is just like, well, yes, you see, we are a group of great many talents, and you are all great party folk, I would say. More obviously stronger than me, I would say, and everything. But we have a more diverse set of abilities that we can help when traversing inside of a cave or tomb or anything like that specifically.
I was gonna say, but then I forgot that it Rivet's concentration broke. But I like the idea of this conversation happening inside darkness. Just be like, I think we can work together. Just like, sorry, where are you? I don't know what I'm looking at. As this is sort of like this ceasefire is happening, you see that big lady that exited the cave, kind of like just sort of lumbering, walking, not like rushing towards the captain or anything like that, just walking towards the captain. Not holding a weapon or anything like that. Their weapon seems to be sheathed. I mean, it's a club, so it wouldn't be sheathed. But anywho, as the captain just looks at you, you do indeed seem to have some. We do like our lives.
Losing data.
Ooh, the internet just went completely.
Darling.
Okay, I need to disconnect and try to. Right back.
Kill that one, that one, that one. I'm just kidding.
What is happening?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay, cool.
What happened there?
What the hell was that? I don't know.
Is everyone's
Discord.
mic working?
I can hear you fine.
Hold on.
Crow. I can hear Crow fine.
Yep.
Rivet?
Hello?
Hey, perfect. Okay. Nikki?
Hello.
Jarell?
Yeah.
Deep.
Okay, cool. For me, Willow's voice basically turned into like Eve from Wall-E. It's just like.
It was the same with me. Everyone was just like, yeah,
Yeah,
Wally.
I think it actually was the Discord server's location that was
Oh, okay.
funky.
Um,
Because I went back, just as I disconnected and tried to reconnect, and he asked, blim, 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 blim.
Oh yeah, we're connected to Atlanta. Yes. Okay. But as sort of this sort of awkward moment is happening, the lady does come around the corner and just kind of yell out to the captain, or to the I'll call him captain, but he's not a captain. But to the captain, and the captain just like looks at you all and just like, give me one moment. And he just very carefully sort of walks away from what seems a situation where everyone has their gun loaded and ready. And yeah, he reaches back, and it's just sort of like the lady kind of reaches into his ear and kind of like puts the hand in front and starts like, whispering something in his ear. And after a couple of exchanges between them, the captain definitely moves forward and just looks at you all and says, look, you have to understand, this is our livelihood. This is what we do for a living. And you going in there is taking money out of our pockets. You understand that, right?
Well,
And you do realize the return on that, right?
What return?
Getting rid of this one little problem helps benefit you in the future. You know this, right? Where instead of losing or sacrificing you're now keeping. Think of how many fish that you've all sacrificed, and then think of how much you're going to be saving from then on. We're simply helping you getting rid of this to stop you from sacrificing, I believe.
Yeah, basically. So you can keep every fish you can actually fish up.
Like Crow's kind of just like having his hands up, really just like almost like in a sales pitch kind of idea,
Yeah.
or like ways, just like you're right here and you've lost this much in your quota and all like that, but like getting rid of this little issue will have your sales skyrocketing. Like he's
Like-
like just because
Crow's
like he
using
does
minor
Twilight
illusion to
Fall.
create graphs and like the graph is just like a line just going up.
I forgot I had that because like I was gonna say he was gonna draw it in the sand at first.
Or you can draw them in the sand. You can.
Well-
I'll say the following. Because you're drawing using the aid of the sand to kind of explain the situation to the fisherman. Roll me a persuasion, please, with advantage.
Yay.
And is there a chance I could kind of slide over there, just put my pinky on him, and if you're willing, give you a little bit of guidance?
I'll allow it, yeah. Kind of just kind of corroborate, like with the whole idea and the whole explanation that's happening. Yeah, sure. Plus a D4.
Mhm. One.
Okay.
So, 23.
23. That's substantial. Actually. Hey, I do have my dice. Give me a second. No, that's there. We go. Okay. As you're explaining, and you definitely see that the captain is listening in. Some of the fishermen also kind of like lean in, and he just looks at you and just says, "Look, I agree. In sort of right now, our return is not that great, but like in the future, it'll be better if we get rid of this. But the thing is, look, money hasn't been that good around these parts,
Come on, I just did
And-
the math for you right here.
and I understand it, man. It's just look around you. I have, and he's counting because the Tremessa didn't count.
Could I interject?
I have more than 11 mouths to feed. It's gonna be a little bit hard to tell them to just pack up and leave.
It's not packing up and leaving. It's just taking a break.
No,
You're
pack up and leave as in go home empty-handed. But that isn't to say
Or,
perhaps we could reach some agreement.
Can we have like
Some-
a small group huddle for a second?
Yeah, of course, I understand. Take your
Uh,
time.
Please,
Right,
hold
everybody
please.
just
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
You-
huddle.
What?
You also see Crow looking at the ones around us, and he's just like, private situation, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
over there.
Oh,
Um,
this guy's on the floor.
the
Alright,
kid that
take
we're
sec-
helping,
I
they're
know.
from a like a noble family, aren't they?
I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
I thought they were from a noble family, like have money. No, never mind. Group huddle over.
what?
I figured we could work out an agreement where we could say,
Hey.
look,
Hey,
can
there might be a way. There might be a way.
okay,
Oh no.
And this time I really thought this through. This time I really thought it through. Okay.
Okay. Stop,
So
stop.
rivet.
Stop.
Shh. Before going any further, just explain it first.
There you
I
go.
was about to.
hold
as
it down.
Do me a favor before you start.
Hey,
put your hands.
I'm
put
not
your
gonna
hands up.
cause a darkness spell again.
Just
Right.
River,
Put your hands up
just,
so we can see if you're casting any spells. Okay.
River, just talk first, okay? Words.
hands up. Both hands up
Yeah.
too.
As he puts up both
Regular-
puts up all his puts up
Regular
his
words.
hand.
No magic words, okay?
I'm just
Yeah, but
imagining
no.
this group of people off to the side and just seeing two of our group going, no, I want to see your hands, I want to see your hands.
Yeah, I am. I'm doing it. It's that conversation.
But let's be reasonable here. The child want the wish. We're clear on that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, since I have, well, is it my genie patron? But I am actually trying to become a genie for the love of children and all that such. But do you know that genie dilemma? You know, big
yeah.
cosmic power and other stuff.
Yes.
Well, do you know the rules of genie granting wishes?
Nope.
I'm afraid I missed that book.
I can tell this is the first time you're using your words.
I
Well, think
do would like to ask though. Rivet, roll me a wisdom check, please.
All right.
Oh no.
Because
Wisdom save.
Warlock pacts aren't always so,
Straightforward.
you know, straightforward or even like, you know,
No!
Especially for a genie as well, too.
yeah. The thing is, the genie promised you power beyond imagination. He would grant you your wishes and yada yada. You don't really like. He didn't really specify every single thing. Like what would be like you in 5 years kind of thing. If we're talking about graphs in the sand and whatnot.
Yeah, fair enough.
He didn't really explain like itself, like what its capabilities are. You just know that like power was promised, and so far he's given some really cool stuff.
At this moment, with that little, he's really just stopped himself. When I think about it, you were never specific.
Okay.
What?
Like Crow kind of backs away with the rest of the group a bit. He goes like, I think Rivet might have been conned out of something in his life. Maybe we should look into that later.
Yeah. What other options are there? Is there offering our services like in for future, like helping with the fishing, trading? Is that an option?
I could get something established with my family, but my father is going to be hard to deal with on that. And that could take a while as well, but we need to settle this now. Anyone else got any ideas?
I've got an idea.
I could only suggest that I have
Maybe we should team up with them.
Well, that's what we offered earlier.
But what I'm saying, I mean like
Captain is just looking at this and just like, you guys are done. You still need more time.
I make tea with my hands like the timeout sign.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Crow just holds up 3 fingers. He's like, 3 minutes. That'll be it.
I'm out of ideas.
I think I have one.
Pretty
but
sure I was out of ideas from begin with.
Well,
I might have one, but
Ooh.
it's
What?
It's not a solid idea. It's kind of pitchy in places. They're interested in money, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
If we could something like how the arm wrestle thing that we were gonna do, but they said they wanted to fill staff. We don't have to do the staff, but I pull out this little rock, we can tell them this is a magic rock that grants money, and we can put that as a wager for the arm wrestle thing. I know it's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it?
Crow is listening to this, squeezing the bridge of his nose, trying not to show the fact that he thinks that this sounds kind of childish.
Say, like, there's no such thing as
Jarrell
bad
does
idea.
not hold back and say, yeah, no.
Or we can just punch them.
Are they only interested in money? They're for the livelihood. They're only interested in money.
That and food, I believe, but I don't know which one is more important to them just yet.
What he has explained, at least in this last bit, is that whatever's inside that cave would give them money, or whether it's stuff that they can sell in a market, whether it is a kraken, whatever it is, they can sell for money. And in essence, he has way too many people there to just tell them to go home empty-handed. But he did mention if some money was to exchange hands, that people would be more agreeing into pissing off.
Okay, so upon hearing that out of game, Crow pipes up thinking like, at first, Princess, I thought you were suggesting us giving them money, but I think that would probably be a lot easier than tricking them with a rock, maybe.
What if we propose to her whatever money we've got now, give them that now, they come with us into the cave, and then whatever else is in the cave, they can have that. There might be something of value within the cave other than the kraken. So if we give them money now as like a halfway point, that's like a definite, here you go, here's some money, here's some gold, and then whatever else is in the cave, that's they can help themselves to it, whatever there might be.
Okay, then. Well, let's see. You see Crow kind of looking over Rivet, like to count how many there are. He's just like going, all right, so there are about, I want to say 12. How much gold does everyone have?
I have 15 gold pieces.
Rivet takes out a little punch and just turn it upside down. 15 gold pieces!
Mm-hmm.
I got 20.
20?
At this point, he by the way begins sort of like taking a couple of steps towards you guys. So
that's 50 right now. I have 25.
I got 10 guys.
So 85 altogether, it seems.
Is everybody having to cough up all of their money, or do they only keep some for themselves?
I can spare it.
Well, I can always perform and get a little bit something in return, but I can spare mine.
We don't really use gold where I'm from.
So we've got 85 pieces in total.
Yep.
So you've had time to talk.
Yes, and I believe we have a new proposal for you.
Okay, I'm all ears.
You see Crow kind of like getting everyone's whatever, like if it's in a pouch or just handing him the gold or anything, and he's just like putting it in like one like bigger pouch or anything. He's like 85 gold pieces for your services to help us actually to explore the cave. Anything of value that you believe that you might find of use for, you can have. In exchange, we would like to maybe take the Kraken if that's possible, while you and your group can take the items or treasures if you wish.
Look, that sounds mighty reasonable. I'll give you that, but
Thing is, my man, they don't want to work with you. And
Oh,
to
that's
be
all they're
honest,
saying. We don't want to work with them either. This is why we're paying for it.
after what you did to Jeff and all that's transpired, I'd rather just...
All right. Allow me to. Jeff, get over here. He was just.
Jeff is currently on the floor unconscious.
Yeah. He's over there. Right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. As he just starts stretching out, like first connect his put his fingers together and just crack out. Well, it's first time I've done this. As he uses.
Swift cracks his neck. There we go.
No.
A little dagger to the chest. There we go. There we
Yeah.
go.
He just cracks out his fingers and just crack them a little bit more. And just first time I've done this, as he put a hand on Jeff's and used cure wounds.
Oh, okay.
Took it through the magic initiate bod classifications.
Mhm.
So
Feel free to roll.
He gains so much. Oh,
Wait, so you sing to him?
Oh, nice.
No-
7.
Yeah.
Here's how he flavors it.
Yeah, just like the scene
Um,
in Roger Rabbit, where he's just smashing the plates over his head over and over again.
Yeah, Jeff is on the floor, starts to kind of like come to and looks at your face and is just like, "Ah!"
Hey, hello there.
And he's definitely a bit scared
Yeah,
as
fair
the
enough.
captain just looks at you all and just says, "Look, we don't need 85. That is, again, generous, but let's call it 50. We go away."
50, great. There you go. Give him 50. Keep the rest.
There we go.
All right.
He kind of extends his hand as like a handshake, you know.
I'll shake his
And,
hand. Why not?
very
first
well.
I'll get the soapbox, step on the soapbox, and shake his hand, look him eye to eye. It's been, I would like to say it's been a pleasure, but it hasn't.
Likewise. Hope you find what you're looking for.
Hey, look, we ain't got to like
So
each
do
other.
we.
We got to respect each other. And that's cool. All right. And
Very well.
I'm keeping the soapbox. I might need that.
Oh yeah, I mean there's a ton of them
Yeah.
on the shore, so feel free if you wanna.
Right, but this one's mine.
Yep, sure.
Right. Yeah, it's my soapbox.
And with that being
yeah.
said,
Yeah, Crow goes ahead and just like gives him 50 and like shakes his hand. And he's just like, yeah, good luck in your endeavors. Like, just kind of gives an awkward smile, just like, yeah, good luck.
there, well, he's kind of like handling the business as he kind of just looks back and just tells everyone to like kind of move out. And you see that the fisherman kind of, a little bit reluctantly. I think Jeff is the first one to scoot off. But yeah, you see that they all sort of like in a little bit of like a small groups kind of get together and all leave the scene.
As they're
And the
leaving,
captain-
they kind of just hear Crow going, please have him rest his head, please.
Jeff kind of like looks back and just kind of winces a bit in pain. But yeah, they all leave and leave you to do your business. Yeah, just kind of maybe exchange a couple of words here and there, but aside from that, all good. You have the
Alright.
cave for yourselves.
So, I guessing you wanna tie me up right now?
Oh yes,
Was the
Well,
crow
Jarrell,
really
you
trying to go
this is
left
your
or right?
beast, right? This is
Oh,
your
yeah.
summoned
Dog.
beast. Yes.
He left.
A
real
dog.
Very well. Yeah. What would you like to do? You have the beach to yourselves. You see the cave entrance. It is still morning. It's kind of cold still. A bit of wind passes by. and it kind of whistles as you see the wind kind of like going into the cave. But aside from that, not much. I assume you guys want to go into the cave?
Yes.
Very well.
Yeah, seeing that, like, we're all kind of like, I guess we're all just pretty prepared. Or yeah.
As
prepared.
you kind of get to the cave's entrance, you start noticing that it's very, very dark inside. Would anyone, carry a torch, cast light, or something like that?
I'll cast light.
I can see. Yes, it is.
Sorry, you said what did Princess Ivana said?
Casting light.
Ivana, right? Very well. You cast light on your wings, or if you want to any other place, let me know.
Wings will do.
Ivana, yeah. And yeah,
I'd like to cast light on like like a stick. I'm gonna hand it to the to my hound and say, my pit bull, and say, yeah, lead the way. And I let the pit bull lead the way.
yeah, very well. Pitbull in the front, and you all begin to kind of squeeze in to the cave entrance. It's not like something you could just like walk in. You do need to squeeze a bit, and it's quite claustrophobic for a good bit, as it is like a sort of more of a tunnel that leads into the cave. But you one by one reach the other end, and you notice that it is, with the light kind of glistening off of the walls, you see that it kind of like shines a bit because of the humidity. You see that this is a substantially like large space, quite ample and high. One thing that it's hard to miss is that there is a large pool of water, with a massive sort of boulder in the middle, kind of making a bit of an island. While the pool of water is massive, like in terms of like width and let's say radius, you do notice that it is not very shallow. You see small bits and pieces of shipwrecks scattered throughout the cave, which must have been washed in with some kind of storm, perhaps. Parts of broken crates float in the water, and surprisingly intact like barrels are still kind of just gently bobbing in the water, up and down as the wind kind of rushes and moves a little bit of the water. But the water, aside from that, it is pretty still. So this does not seem to have any sort of connection with the sea or any underground lakes or rivers or whatnot. You just notice that there is this sort of very heavy, wet stench of iodine, and the walls are covered with dried up salt, which you're sufficiently intelligent to be able to tell that the water level has been slowly going down, and this pool of water is not that deep because of that. I would like everyone to roll me a perception, please.
All right.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna put you guys back here. There we go.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
Not that bad.
What? What?
Nikki,
Yeah.
perception, please.
Yep.
Okay.
That was so
Well, so you're all like trying to look through this cave. It's pretty damn dark. But I'll say that Willow, you guys split a little bit, but not like split the party, but just like kind of one walks a little bit to the left, one walks a little bit to the right. One is just looking more into the water, and maybe you, Willow, you're looking into the water, kind of like looking at that boulder in the middle. And then suddenly it's almost like you're, because of the dog, the hound that's kind of moving around with the with the light source, it kind of hits an angle where you spot sort of two beady eyes, the very like white eyes with this sort of black slit-like shape in the middle, just curiously peeking from behind the boulder. And as you spot it, it immediately like whoop, goes back in.
It's like the dragon all over again. There's a little cute thing in the water. So, okay, I'm gonna say, I saw it. It looked small, which I thought it might be. It's just plopped in the water. It was on the boulder. It's in the water now. I'm gonna touch the water with the end of my staff. I'm just gonna tap the water's surface a little bit.
Mhm.
See if there's anything.
Splish, splish.
Careful, Willow.
Is that if
Nothing.
you grab a stick?
No, nothing much happens. I'll say that maybe you accidentally like stab, let's say, like poke the ground a bit with the end of your staff. You notice that the water is not very deep. A little bit of like the sort of the dust at the bottom of this little pool of water lifts up, but aside from that, perfectly fine water. Maybe don't drink it because it's seawater, probably.
Can we? How far into the middle of the lake is the boulder?
It's about like 40 feet away.
Right. Okay. Just having a look through, see what I've got.
As you're like considering and you poke the ground and all that, you do see the eyes again, kind of just, basically just keeping an eye on you or two.
I'm gonna try what I did with
God.
the dragon. I'm just gonna go, hey, little guy. Just thinking, it worked last time. Let's try again. Hey, little guy.
I can talk to animals and understand them, and they can understand me.
I should. Why do I not have that spell?
Would Princess Ivana want to have a go? Just-
Sure. Okay.
Oh yeah, Princess Ivana can fly. Oh, okay, yep. Still 40 feet away.
I guess I'm casting Speak with Animals.
Do you have speak with animals?
Yes.
Oh, okay, very well. You cast speak with animals. How does it look? Is it just like you start like barking to dogs and in all that, or is it more like you just talk and they just understand you?
It's like if I was speaking to a dog, I'd be going bark, 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 bark.
Okay. Yeah, you cast speak with animals. You hear a muffled like from your sort of like left side, and as you look kind of down, you see Jor-El's hound is just kind of like his mouth currently has a glowing stick, so it's saying something, but it currently cannot speak because of the stick.
Hello.
Look, me, I could turn into a dog, but I'm not that kind of druid.
Hello, little guy. If you're little, I don't know how big you are, but hello.
You hear
He's
from
like
the
a American pit bull, so yeah, he's kind of big. So I'm gonna say, hey, I'll just let him know. Psst, hey, stick, and have the pit give me the stick. No.
You hear from the far end, like in the boulder, you hear just a tiny voice just saying, "Oh no, strangers, no."
I'm there,
So
little guy. We're not here.
Yeah, you hear nothing. Okay, Pillow. You hear nothing.
I know this is Zoe going, that's cute.
It's okay, little guy. We're not
yeah,
gonna
you hear-
hurt you.
Wait, what are we hearing? What are we hearing? Ivana say? How does she sound?
Okay. Yeah, Ivan is having a stroke. Apparently. and you just hear coming out of Willow's mouth like a very just complete nonsense, as you know she just starts to blah 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 blah. It's just like why are you like that makes like the the stone is moist. What do you mean? Okay. But yeah, you still you keep hearing this sort of like whatever is at the distance is definitely like sort of scared, very nervous, and yeah, it's what would you like to do?
He's scared. That's incoming to my friends.
What of
He's
us?
scared, guys. Yeah. I'm trying to tell him we're friendly, but
Oh yeah, tell him we're friendly. Oh,
I just told him we're friendly.
Nikki, you got a friend.
He's still scared though.
Can you tell him to come over? Or do you want? Or can you fly over to the boulder?
I don't think what I did in the garden is a good idea.
Misty step onto.
What do krakens eat? Fish.
Apparently, small creatures like a rivet.
They do eat. Apparently, they eat fish. You know, you could roll a. Let's call it a nature check.
Is it like further out in the distance, or like?
You. Now that Willow has pointed out, I would say that occasionally, like you spot the little eyes kind of just poking out of behind the rock, but then they kind of like just they look in this direction, but then when it sees that like you've noticed it, it kind of like scrunches down. Oh no! You're gonna hurt me.
Can you fly over to the rock?
Sure.
Actually, this isn't a bad thing. Rivet does the thing. Try to see the acoustics in the where they are. If it is too can get too loud if they talk or anything else.
I'll say that as you guys are talking, you notice that it is very echoey. This is a very echoey space. So let's do the following. So what does everyone want to do? Princess Ivana, you want to fly over to the rock, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast guidance on her.
You just give her a little pat on the back. You go.
Yeah, you go the little guy.
River, Crow, Rivet, Rivet, Crow, or Andrel. What are you doing?
Well, Rivet doesn't go any closer to the water because he doesn't know what's lurking in there. So he finds himself a good spot to sit down and he tests out the acoustics with his flute a little bit, so it doesn't sound too loud. And then he tries to play a little melody.
It's a good idea.
Roll me a perception, by the way. Performance. Crow and Jarell.
Crow goes over to Willow and says, "You have a more gentle feeling about you than the princess, I would say. If you like, I can cast a spell to help you get close to help her out as well too."
Okay, yeah, sure. More so that if anything goes wrong, at least I'm within like touching distance of her, just in case. But I'm confident that Ivana's got this. She's a princess after all.
Don't be
She's got
gentle.
But think of how much help that we've needed on these creatures so far.
Okay, just don't drop me.
Don't worry, that's totally up to you.
Wow.
Here
we go.
You see him take out his spell book and he goes like, just starts to starts to just like move his fingers and like kind of like casting like auras or like not aura like symbols and like just kind of rotating around you. You see like a purple like magic ring appear under like both of your feet, and then you just suddenly feel yourself become weightless. Like you just suddenly feel yourself like lifting up. You're not flying, you're levitating. Like, and you kind of just see Crow go like, all right, you got to be careful because anything that just simply pokes you, he kind of just gives you like a gentle tap, and you kind of just see yourself like just being pushed or like just gently floating along the way.
All right. Okay. So yeah. Okay.
And then he quickly casts Mage Hand. You can't see it, but then like you just suddenly feel yourself like just moving, like he's just like kind of moving his finger around, and like you're just kind of moving in a circle. You feel like something tugging on your shirt as like it's like kind of moving you around.
This is the most fun I've had in years.
All right, then.
And now release the Kraken. Jarell, what is Jarell doing?
And he
These guys
pushes her towards
Gently.
Yeah.
And these guys are focused on like getting I'm pretty sure they got the creature. I think I need to watch out for whatever else is money here. So I'm gonna look at this water and one, see what's in there. Two, before I do the other thing, I'm gonna definitely keep an eye on. I want to see what's in this water down here because you said it's deep,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. It's not very deep. I'll say roll me a perception, please.
Okay. Good lord, that's terrible. Total 8. What's wrong with me today?
The angle of all of these lights and all that just makes the surface of the water very like sort of like shiny. So it's kind of hard to see. You do notice it is not a very deep pool of water.
In that
Roll
case-
me.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. What would
I'm
you
gonna
like
take
to
the
do?
glow. I'm gonna take my glow stick.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, and I'm gonna just throw it in the water to see if it can illuminate it from the other side.
Princess Ivana, as you are sort of flying off, I like the idea, by the way, of Willow is just kind of like trying to keep like, sort of floating like in a sort of like static position, but then as she's getting pushed, like she started like to like sort of like gently drift, and like at a certain point she's like head down and like feet are up and like, oh my god, I'm gonna throw up.
I love how
Um,
I can imagine that Ivana's just done this like graceful, quick flying over, and then there's just the old lady weirdly floating behind.
Because Mage Hand is 30 feet, I'll say that at a certain point, even Ivana maybe just kind of like looks at you and just kind of gives you her hand, and you kind of like grab her and.
No, mine's a double. Remember?
Oh, okay. And in that case, never mind, Ivana. But as you are leaving, you definitely hear. Stick! No! Stick! No! I need to check a thing. So,
I think my Uber driver brought me someone else's food.
a base.
Oh wow.
You'd be surprised how much that happens.
Yeah.
No, this is like the third time it's happened.
Okay, then you won't be surprised how much it happens.
Oh no, no, I was right here going like, no, I'm just surprised because like it's a better thing than what I ordered, so I'm happy.
Oh, okay.
The other
You
guy that's gonna get your order, not so much.
so you hear just off in the distance, the dog is clearly like he wants to jump after the stick. But because according to the spell, it does kind of follow Jarell's command, so it is well behaved. But it's clearly like Jarell, you clearly see it like wagging its tail as it wants like the stick. But yeah, the stick kind of goes down as all of this is happening while you hear, a couple of flute notes. Not the bestest performance, not something that will bring tears to your eyes, but just almost like a backing track happening in this cave. The acoustics really help to make it better than it actually is. Rivet. Yeah, you just throw the glow stick into the water. You see it kind of go a little bit down. It's a bit murky, but as it kind of hits the ground, you see that it's not deep at all, like 10 feet, maybe a little bit more than 10 feet.
Okay.
And with that being said, Ivana, you swiftly get to the rock, as you just hear, oh no,
Shh, it's okay. I'll just I'll sit down to kind of be at its level, so I'm not even intimidating or anything.
you start seeing the ice kind of come out of the water. And it's just like, wait, you can understand me?
Yes, I can understand you.
And I can understand you. And you start seeing one sort of tentacle coming out of the water and kind of grabbing onto the rock. You see another tentacle coming out of the water and grabbing onto the rock. And one by one, you see more and more tentacles coming out of the water. Until finally, you just see it kind of poke its head out. Super curious. Imagine that thing that dogs do, where their head just kind of turns a bit, where they're like, what? It's just a substantially large octopus. But it is, people were saying that it was the size of a horse. It's not the size of a horse, more of a size of a, maybe a dog. And it's just kind of looking at you, just like, hi.
Hi.
Have you also been washed into the cave?
We weren't washed in, but we heard of a really cool little kraken, which is since you're stuck, we can get you out of the cave.
And as you say, a cool kraken, it points all of its tentacles at itself. Me?
That's so cute.
Yeah, you're cool. You're the coolest kraken I've ever seen.
I don't know if octopi can blush, but this one does. As it goes a little bit like rosy cheeks. The octopus, by the way, has a very yellowish. It changes a lot. You see that it's very chameleon. It kind of shifts in color. As it kind of feels like a mood ring almost. But it looks at you just like, I'd love to leave, but there's not enough water, and I need water.
Oh, Ivana, are you making friends?
Who's that?
Oh,
I'm ducking my head back. I'm sorry.
You can't duck your head back because you're floating uncontrollably in the air.
I'm gonna try and curl up into a ball.
Well, not uncontrollably. The mage hand is just kind of gently pulling or pushing her kind of idea.
Yeah, but she's basically like a balloon, and you're doing that thing of smacking the balloon from side to side, trying to keep.
Oh no, it was kind of not like pushing her or anything. It's kind of holding holding her by, I want to say the collar of her shirt, basically how
Okay.
It's almost like she would be kind of dangling in the air almost if you were to see the mage hand. It would kind of be like a hand holding her like she's a little doll.
Oh God. Don't drop me.
Is she okay?
She's levitating though.
I, I don't know. Um, Mom is probably so angry right now.
Did you go out without your mum's permission?
No, I know, I promise I wasn't. I was just playing around, and then the storm came, and then I was here, and I can't leave. There's no water.
Well, maybe me and my friends can find a way to help you get out. I know you need water.
Like a flower.
I mean, if you could help, I'd be a friend.
It'd be nice to be your friend.
You see it kind of do like a happy face, kind of squidge a happy face. But yeah, basically, apparently this octopus, this baby kraken, has been dragged into the cave when a storm happened. A recent storm happened, and it apparently needs water it needs to be within water to be okay.
Do you,
So
did
we'll-
you tell this to everybody or just to her?
Ivana?
I'll tell the other guys this as well.
Very well. You relay the information back, yeah.
I
Now
think
come
I may be able to help with that.
The barrels.
Actually, I got something a little bit better. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure that this little guy is bigger than a barrel, right?
It
believe
does
like,
not.
size of a dog, you said?
Yeah, it seems that it would be able to fit the barrel. Yeah, and octopi are very flexible. Let's say.
All right, cool. So I'll grab one of these barrels. I'm gonna take a look at it and make sure it's watertight.
Mm-hmm. It seems to be the you see that they're still kind of bobbing up and down in the water as you kind of pull it in closer, and you see that it held whatever its contents are like quite well. So yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna pour that old water out, put new water in it, and then put it down and just kind of present it like, here we go. I had another idea, but this is better.
What was
Just kind of
the other
looks.
idea?
Drell,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
what was the other idea?
The other one was I could make a since we to move it around easy, I could actually make a flaming sphere and then transmute it from fire to water.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, with
Transmute
your-
magic.
Oh yeah. Can
Well,
you use
hey.
a combination of both to make the barrel have more water in?
I mean, if it runs out of water and I
clean
need
the
to
water?
refresh it, I could fix that. But I may need some help from Crow here with moving it with telekinesis. You know.
But how are we going to get the amount we need to clear the path a bit first? It's a bit narrow there.
Well, we could always do.
I think the barrel would still work. It's just that we're gonna have to clear some of the space out of it.
When it comes to that, we could always do. Then again, how is the integrity of the cave?
let's say the following. The barrels got in, so the barrels are able to get out. It's a squeeze, but the barrel, should be fine. I would say that it definitely requires some team effort to carry a barrel filled with water and an octopus through this narrow entrance. So it definitely will require like some coordination and like lift it, down, up, kind of thing.
Oh, actually, no. Jarrell was kind of right. A crow could take care of like just the barrel by itself in general.
Very well. With that being said,
But
you
if we
present.
excavate, I can actually blast some of this tunnel here to make us clear some world if we want to do that.
I was onto that path myself.
Let's say the following. To kind of make it like short and sweet. You kind of push the barrel forward. The octopus kind of approaches very shyly, just kind of swimming in. It was clearly like sort of stressed out because of the water, the fact that its mom is probably looking for it, and but it approaches the barrel and sort of like very slowly kind of like reaches up towards the edge of the barrel and kind of pulls itself up and then just flops into the barrel. Kind of disappears for a little bit, and then suddenly like its head kind of pops out again with like the sort of the tentacles on the edge of the circumference, and it's kind of just there, just peeking out. And Ivana, you definitely hear it saying, "Ooh, this is fun." And I'll say that you it was the idea, Crow, to cast levitate on the barrel.
Yeah, when they get back to this side,
Yeah.
he takes a concentration off of Willow, just like, and she just kind of like plops down onto the ground.
Very well. You pull everyone back to this side, cast levitate on the barrel, and with the hand you slowly push it, and in front, let's say, of this conga line, between a combo of Jarrell and Rivet, you guys kind of just start blasting away at like every like little edge that might be a little bit more, might be sticking out a bit too much. And yeah, takes you a couple of minutes. Like imagine like to get in took you like 5 minutes or less. To get out, it takes you more like maybe 15, maybe 20 minutes, but it's because you're being careful. It takes you 10 minutes, otherwise the barrel will collapse. But yeah, through teamwork and sort of good structural, pinpoint accuracy, you clear your way out of this cave. Come outside. Sun is shining. The clouds have broken. I'll say that you definitely hear sort of a massive sort of rumbling sort of roar. Seems to sort of echo throughout the whole lake, kind of resonate through this sort of area, and the octopus definitely like perks up and it's just like, "Oh, that's my mom." Can I like let me talk to my mom? I'll tell her that I'm just gonna be hanging out with my friends.
Yeah. Or well, the crow's not really hearing that, but like, but just like seeing like him probably just like bubbling up and everything, he's just like going like, "You probably know that sound, little buddy." So, like, just like having the mage hand like push the barrel towards like the water.
The octopus looks at you, Ivan, and it's just like, "We're gonna hang out, right?"
Yeah, of course.
Yay! As it kind of just gets pushed off into the water. You lower the barrel. It kind of scoops off into the water. Couple of minutes pass. Starts going up until like maybe 10 minutes in. 15.
So, what do you think its name is?
Maybe one of us should go check on this.
Well,
Do you even want me to
Hold
go
on.
on my own?
It's kind of far out there.
I could take another person with me as I with some air bubbles if you want.
Take the canary.
As you're talking about this, you start seeing in the water there seems to be some sort of like something pushing up from the water, from below. You start seeing the water displace and kind of just rush to the sides as you just see the tip of like what could only be like a gargantuan creature sort of like poke out of the water, and you just kind of like it just turns a little bit to the side so that it can just like look at you with with a penetrating gaze. This eye is easily like the size of one, maybe two of you. This thing is massive. And then shortly after, you see a little plop out, and it's just kind of like waving a tentacle, and it kind of scoots off very quickly towards the coast. And
Princess,
Okay.
your friend's back.
and you see it just kind of like scoot back into the barrel. I'll say that I don't know how long big breed with animals.
It's meant
I think
to
it's
be
10 minutes, right?
It's meant to be 10
S-
minutes.
For simplicity's sake, you hear the creature's voice, the creature's parent's voice in your head. No, okay, I guess that's a bit too much. You do hear the creature's voice in your head, just like, okay, I told my mom, and she's cool if we hang. She just said something along the lines, take care of my baby, otherwise I'll hunt you down and eat you whole.
Noted.
Understandable.
Nope. Come on, let's get out of here. Nope. None of that. Come on, let's
So
go.
what?
We get this
So what?
fast. We get the kid back there. Make the wish. We can get it back out of here. Come on, let's go.
So what did it say, Ilana? Princess?
Look after little guy, otherwise get hunted down and eaten.
Okay, so she told you that, so you're in charge of the little guy then.
Ah, good point. As long as you stay away from the water, she can't really carry out any kind of threats like that.
Not the point, but okay. like Crow's literally just like rather going like, not what I meant, but that could work, yes.
Jor saw that giant tentacle and him come back and just is ready to go. Nope. Not playing with that thing.
Yeah,
I know my way fast.
it kind of speaks into everyone's head, as she says, let's go have some fun.
Sure.
It is a very intrusive thing to have like someone speak directly into your brain, but krakens do have telepathy, so.
I mean, you could always make friends with the unicorn, the griffin, the phoenix.
Hey, seems
You
like a
can stand
D&D
up.
joke. A
Yeah.
phoenix, a kraken, a griffin walk into a bar.
Do they become
Bad
friends?
joke to
And nobody
happen.
survives.
Oh, that's the
But yeah, with that being said, you collect the barrel, and you kind of maybe just kind of like awkwardly waddle your way towards Fushur, who at this point is just starting to look more like a cargo creature than anything else, than a mystical dragon. It's just like there's a griffin, there's I guess there's no phoenix because it's inside the pocket thing. But there's a griffin, there's a unicorn, now there's a kraken, and there's a baby dragon. And Fusher just looks at you as he kind of prepares for you to hop on. And it just looks at you all and just,
Very well, my friends. You were very successful, I see. Shall we make our way back?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get this over with.
There's
Very
a studio
well.
Ghibli film here, I swear.
I'm pretty sure the rest of the guys are a little bit tired of my shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
very well. Let's say that you start making your way towards the sanctuary once more after collecting all of the 5 creatures here so that you can see. You start making your way back to the sanctuary with all the creatures with you. The octopus is just kind of like, as Fusher is just flying through the air, the barrel, and then there's like the head of the octopus, and the tentacles are just flapping in the wind as if like, like a dog's tongue went out of the window, like.
Yeah, that's creepy.
The unicorn, the unicorn is just very calmly like sitting down, just observing this whole thing. The baby dragon is just sort of like ever so gently like lifting off and kind of like gliding for a tiny bit, alongside Fusher, and then kind of like lands again. And also, yeah, Crow, you probably are on top of Archimedes is just like soaring through the sky, doing like barrel rolls around this giant dragon. And yeah, you all make your way to the sanctuary, which is more or less here. I'll say that in the middle of the day, you take a bit of a break, kind of stretch your legs, to unwind a little bit, to, you've been running around, to just kind of catch your breath. And if anyone that wants to do a long rest, I'll allow you to do a long rest, as these animals also need to to stretch their legs.
All right.
But yeah, with that being said, you're all the day is coming to an end. It's coming to like the afternoon is coming in, and you start approaching the sanctuary once more. The trees, the massive head of trees just kind of covers the whole sanctuary, but you do see like a peak here and there of like the various structures of the sanctuary. And Fusher kind of like sort of like goes in and stops, and as you sort of like begin to hop off of Fusher and all that, it transforms back into its humanoid form. That's sort of like a very, very bearded, very hairy looking individual with like the massive cloaks and furs. It just informs you that it's gonna go inside to call the master Beastkeeper, and to tell him the news. And yeah, you all are just kind of like, let's say, unpacking as your creatures are you maybe start slowly making your way in, and after a while you see various individuals, all dressed in like these sort of robes of the sanctuary, individuals of different sizes and whatnot. These sort of like robes are these sort of green tunics with white bits, like sort of like white little details on them. You see that some of them, the tunics kind of like rub on the floor as they walk in closer to you. And 2 individuals walk from the back. Small individuals, possibly gnomish or maybe halflings. And one of them steps forward, looks at you all with this sort of like very calm look on its face. It's sort of pretty much like clean-shaven individual, no hair, very clean look to him, as he just looks at you all with these sort of like piercing blue eyes. Ah, I see that you've managed to collect all the mystical creatures.
And was there a doubt in your mind?
No, it's just you've managed to accomplish it in such a short time. I admit that on behalf of the Beastkeeper Sanctuary, we are very impressed and delighted, of course.
Well, a few of them was hard to get. Some easier than others. Some more dangerous than others.
I am sure of it. For these creatures are powerful and
Oh no!
wise
No.
and
The creature. It wasn't directly the creature. Sure, the griffin. I didn't even take a shot at that because, well, no wings. But hey, trying to get the dragon from all those greenskins. No offense about green, but they try to be friend. They would try to be friendly there, and they double crossed. They just went on to try to stab us in the back, and well, the unicorn. I'm still sorry about that. It was a little bit jumpy there.
let's say that you spend a couple of minutes just kind of filling in this individual, just kind of giving him the information, sort of your adventures.
Rivet and the egg, remember?
Right.
Yes, I see that there is one missing.
Yeah, he takes off the ring. Yes. Could someone hold this for a moment, please?
Crow is just like kind of holding it. This will just be one moment.
Yeah, as he jumps into the ring and gets out the egg. So, all right, careful with the trade so I can get my ring back.
Do you come back out with the egg in your hand?
Yes, I do.
Very well. As the egg is in your hand, this individual is like a bit puzzled. I was under the impression it was a phoenix. What?
Oh, right.
Half
I forgot
right.
about that part. I forgot about that part.
It is a phoenix, yes, but it is a phoenix egg.
Oh. It perhaps needs comfort and
Well,
trust.
it was comfortable inside my little genie space, but trust, not much thing there.
Hey, when we got it, it was old, so it's doing its doing its thing.
Yes,
So
yes,
give it
that's
time.
true. That's true.
I think it reacted more whenever Jorel was talking to it earlier. Jorel,
Yeah.
see if you have any effect on the egg.
Sure. I don't know what others can do. And let's be honest, patience is not my strong suit. So anyway, so I'll just take the egg in my hands.
Yeah.
Okay. It
Has
feels
done-
warm to the touch.
Hey,
And warmer.
Not just hug it.
And warmer.
Tell
And warmer?
you love it.
Say
Tell
that
it
you'll
it's
always
cute.
be there for it.
hey,
And warmer. And
guy.
at a certain point, Jorel, you're just feeling like this is getting a bit hot, a bit uncomfortable even. You hear a crack happen. And as you look down, you see the shell of the egg just gently cracks, and then cracks in another location, and just like bit by bit, it's just like starting to like peel off and crack, and inside you just see sort of this sort of little ball of flame. And then this sort of flame just kind of just sort of like almost like just wisps out, almost like a bit of fire just kind of whips out, and as it does, it's kind of going all over the place very wildly. And for a little bit, it's just kind of going all over. And after a while, you do start noticing that as it's going around the room, or around this, it's not a room, it's a garden, but but as it's going around the room, it definitely like starts to like, you start noticing that it has wings. It's just flying so fast that it's kind of hard to tell. And after a good bit of it just kind of letting that pent up energy just kind of loose, it comes back, and kind of, I'll say that it perches maybe on your shoulder, Jarell. You feel these talons, soft, obviously not like trying to like pierce or anything like that, but firm, yet soft. And you feel the warmth of the phoenix that you kind of didn't feel that much when you were in the tower.
I kind of let the just keep the piece of the egg, whatever's left of the egg or the ash, whatever, in my hands, and I just stand akimbo and say, "That's what heroes do."
And with that being said, the eagle also kind of complements that with like a nice caw. I'm not gonna start. There's many things that I can do, but not that. But yeah, the individual is definitely like, there's this sort of delighted look on his face. As it's just looking at now the sort of the full ensemble of the creatures that you've managed to collect. And the individual kind of looks to the side, and just everyone's very like, and one individual from the back begins to kind of move forward, and he just looks at you all and just, this is magnificent. You've managed to achieve something incredible. If you wouldn't mind, we just need to put the leads on the creatures so that we can lead them to their individual pens. As these sort of robed individuals, 5 of them kind of split and approach. I'll say that the phoenix is with you, Jarell. The unicorn is by your side, Rivet. The griffin is also by your side, Crow. The octopus is still in the barrel, but it's like, I'll say that maybe Princess Ivan is kind of like like lifting it up a bit and then put it forward. And the baby dragon is kind of like hiding behind your legs, Willow. As these individuals just approach you with what seems to be this sort of like leathery collar and strap.
They're going to be looked after, aren't they?
Yes, of course. We first need to lead them to their enclosures so that we can take care of them, of course, and feed them, and so that we may prepare for the ritual.
Wait, ritual?
Ritual.
Yes, the wish. For there is a ritual. Pardon, again, I know that the word ritual has a certain connotation. It's just, we need the animals to be rested so that they are at their full potential, so that when we finally do well, it is a ritual, but it is not a funky one, as you might expect.
I believe what you're looking for is the word ceremony.
Yeah, I hope.
Ceremony tends to imply that there's not. This is a ritual, as in almost a wizard would do their own rituals, or a cleric would do their own rituals. This is just the process of these creatures focusing their power so that the wish might be provided.
Oh, okay. So nothing bad's gonna happen to him. It's just gonna be that they're magical creatures and they hold a lot of power, and that helps to. Why do I suddenly feel so nervous?
Willow,
Yes.
roll me.
You want me to roll something? Okay.
I'll say a wisdom check.
Oh, I don't like this. I feel really anxious. A wisdom check. Okay. Just a straight wisdom, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
Wait, what have I rolled there?
Yay!
Ooh.
Boom.
Do you guys mind if we do a tiny little thing? Zoe,
Mm.
I believe we can. Nikki, do we have access to the DM Whispers channel?
Yes.
Can Zoe and I just jump onto that one?
No, 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 no. Don't put the power with me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Let's.
Go ahead.
Can we?
Go ahead.
Okay. Very quickly, we'll be right back. Zoe, jump onto the DM Whispers, please.
Okay.
Hey, actually, this is good timing because I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back, and I don't want to miss a thing.
Yeah. This time it wasn't me. This time it wasn't me.
I don't like this.
No, neither do I. But this time it wasn't Rivet. Oh god. Rivet has done so much shenanigans during this game.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I'm actually prepared to be perfectly
I
honest.
was.
To be perfectly honest, I'm surprised that Rivet's still alive.
Part of me is thinking like this is gonna be some sort of. I was thinking like sacrifice ritual.
If we just helped the bad guys.
Because we are the bad guys.
Are we evil?
We just helped.
I
the
mean,
bad guys.
like, depending on how you look at it, we essentially kidnapped a young kraken.
Well, at least he's not cracking it.
We stole a unicorn away from its habitat.
No, that we actually convinced it to follow us.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. Yes, but the way it could look from the outside.
Fair enough.
Like, and for all we know, it could seem that I just simply tamed a wild griffin without its consent, and now it's just traveling with us. And
fair enough.
and it could also just seem like, no one said we could have the egg, and it could just be a thing of like, oh yeah, they stole the egg.
Yeah.
We're the bad guys.
Fair enough. No, but still, each and every one of us has done some epic stuff, such as the griffin, such. But still, I can't believe I managed to pull that off with the unicorn.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
Okay, so let's just, if you guys don't mind, I know you might have gone to the bathroom and all that. Let's have a quick 5-minute break, so that we can go to the bathroom. Those that need to go to the bathroom, make a cup of tea, and in general, think about things.
Like, which animal do we want sacrificed, huh?
Hey.
I really don't think I've got the camera on. But okay, yeah. I really need to pee.
I mean, don't kill the kraken, probably, because that one has a mom that might kill you back.
Well,
Maybe kill an animal that doesn't have a parent that will kill you back. But anywho, 5 minutes. Be right back. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Dun dun dun.
Skibbity-bidoo-boo-boo.
Yep.
Okay. Have you guys decided what mystical animal you're gonna sacrifice?
What?
I mean, not gonna be that guy, but there were more griffins there. Just saying.
Yeah, well, you know, the Phoenix is immortal.
That is true. That might break the whole thing of a blood pact, though, if the creature can just like like sacrifice me, and then you sacrifice it, and then like 2 days later, I'm back.
Yeah.
With a grudge.
Well, true. Okay, I believe we're all back.
Yeah, sorry.
Very well. So, with that being said, the temple workers, like with the hoods and the tunics and all that, and the leashes in hand are, yeah, they're sort of approached you. They're kind of looking at you all. Just waiting for you all to like kind of let them, approach.
Is it possible we could just have a few minutes alone with our little animal friends that they've become so close to? We just don't want to give them over straight away. Can we just have like a few minutes to just say our goodbyes and reassure them that they're going to be looked after? Yeah.
I completely understand. It must be hard. You've been through so much together. However, I assure you, we just need to take them to their pens to get washed, tended to, fed, and you can visit them at any time.
Yeah, if you just give us a couple minutes, we're just going to say goodbye to them and we'll hand them straight over.
You see that the individuals with the tunics are still kind of approaching. Yeah, and they're just close by.
Or would it be okay if we could take the leads
trying
and we'll
to-
take them ourselves?
I'm looking to, I'm looking to Crow and Jarell. I'm trying to make it not obvious, but I'm looking to like Crow and Jarell, like, we just want to have more time with them before we hand them over to you to look after and take care of and not harm, to just for like 30 seconds. I'm kind of looking at Crow and Jarell and Ivana as I do this.
Crow's just going like,
Like, trying to,
we could take the
my eyes are kind of big, like I'm slowly nodding my head like, we want to just a little bit longer. Big eyes staring at Crow. Like, please.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
Crow was trying to convince them, just like, you could give us the leads and we could take them ourselves. Like, just tell us
Even
where.
better, can we see
Just-
where they're being kept? If we can visit any time, can we visit right now?
Well, as soon as we put the leads on, we can take the we can escort the animals
Come on, he's
with
flying.
Why do they need leads? I'm sure last time when we came here they didn't have a leads. Has something happened?
No, not at all. It's just at this time of the day we tend to carry the animals to kind of help them, to guide them to their enclosures in a more timely manner. That's all.
Alright, this is Zoe that's asking this question now. At the moment, where how far into the sanctuary are we? Are we pretty far deep in, or is there an exit nearby? Is there like
I apologize. I did not explain. So you basically were sort of like dropped off, but then you started like walking further into the center of the sanctuary where, the place that you've been before. You've just passed this sort of wide corridor of, just nicely, taken care of kind of corridor. Some bushes to the sides. You are right now sort of like not at the middle, not at the center, but you're close to this sort of big fountain that exists in the middle of this this area of the sanctuary. It has this beautiful stone statue of a goddess, just kind of hands extended in the middle of the fountain, in a sort of a very calm and calm way, but also at the same time it's almost like a very merciful way in the middle of the fountain. To your left and to your right. So imagine like there's four areas imagine like this is like an intersection, like a cross section. And in the corners there are these smaller, sort of spaces with, flowers and sort of like beehives and chicken coops and whatnot. So it's like this is not the area that, the animals sleep in per se. This is more of a sort of a common area, let's say, in a garden.
Right, okay.
These individuals are like 10 feet away from you.
I want to on the whole, I want to speak to your manager. You said there was a statue of a goddess. I don't know if it's going to be significant, but with Willow being a cleric and kind of into all that, and I think she'd be fairly knowledgeable on that. Would she recognise the which goddess it is?
Give me a second. 1 minute, please.
Hold, please.
Yes.
Bearing in mind, I haven't taken my eyes off Crow this entire time. I'm just staring at him.
Like the eyes are just burning through the back of
Yeah,
his head.
my eyes are bulging from my head. I'm
No, yeah,
like,
he's
got
yeah.
telepathy, but at the same time, I'm there like.
Well, I'm right here trying to like tell them like let us hold on to the leads and we'll take them to the habitat. Later.
I'll say that it's probably Miliki. Yeah, the goddess of the forests.
Okay.
This sort of bald individual does take a step forward, and just. Look, I understand that you've created a bond with these creatures. They will be here. Trust me. They'll just be in their enclosures, and once they've been taken care of, and tomorrow morning we'll be opening the gates as usual.
I mean, we've gone to such great lengths to get these animals. Can we at least see them be put in their kennels or whatever tiny
Sure.
houses you're going to squish them in?
Sure, of course, I completely understand. As he kind of just gestures to the individuals with the tunics they kind of just approach a little bit more with the leashes on. and they start sort of making a bit of. I'll say that they maybe make a motion first for the unicorn, as the unicorn is just like telling Rivet. He definitely tells you like, no, I do not want this. This is demeaning.
I'm walking
Creature of
back
my
with the
standard
dragon.
will not be paired to this. No.
I'm walking back. I'm walking away
Yeah,
from them with the
pretty-
dragon behind me. I'm kind of using my body to protect the dragon, and I'm kind of looking to everybody else to like. I'm just staring at them with my eyes wide, backing away from them, approaching me with the dragon.
As you're kind of like taking a couple of steps back, and the unicorn is fighting, you see the other individual that approached with the halfling, who's also like a small individual in stature. Just kind of like you just see him kind of hands to his mouth and just a massive sort of like whistle. As you start hearing the sort of like this sort of heavy footsteps, coming from behind you.
Oh my
As you
God.
see a massive individual, just imagine like they tried to put a tunic on top of him, but it's just like, come on, it clearly does not fit him.
Stars.
It's like a crop top, almost. Imagine it should be a tunic, but it's a crop top. This individual is like hulking individual. Almost looks like an ogre, a mixture between an ogre and a human. Is just stepping forward, sort of dragging what seems to be a massive mace across the floor. As the individual that whistled just looks to the side, and as he pulls sort of like his hood back, you see that beneath the hood, he has another hood. No, he has basically like a cone-shaped hat. Bushy beard, white bushy beard. It's sort of like a bit of an aggressive look to his eyes, but also looks very like wild. As this individual like sort of like puts his hands to his to his waist, almost like in his pockets, and you see that he is dressed in a massive. 1 second. He is dressed in a very, very fine sort of hide armor. As he looks to the individual to the side, and he just says, "See, I told you it was not gonna work. You thought you were being smart. I told you, you owe me 10 gold." As the individual that was sort of talking to you all, he's like still has that sort of like calm and tranquil look on his face, and you just imagine like he just smelled something that he didn't like, and his face kind of crinkles up, and as it starts to crinkle up, he kind of like puts his hand to his face and just sort of massaging his face. And as he does, you see that his face is sort of changing. And you see him grabbing something from his back as he kind of puts his hat back on his head. And now you see what seems to be a duo of basically one seems to be a halfling individual, just this sort of crazed halfling man. And the other one seems to be an aged gnome. As this aged gnome just looks at the halfling, just very clearly very annoyed, as he just says, "God damn it! I almost had them. See? That one almost put the lead on. Come on, that 5 gold. It's not 10 gold, it's 5 gold." As they just look in the back and just say, "Come on, Timmy, we have to work."
I'm just gonna shout at everyone and be like, "Don't let them take the animals. Whatever you do, do not let them put the leads on and get them out of here."
Alright, the battle axe is out.
Oh, don't worry. Putting leads on these animals is at least their problems.
The individual, the gnomish individual just looks at you all. This is, by the way, the gnomish individual. Let me see if I can remember how to do this. There we go. Hey, okay, I pressed it way too many times. Apologize. That individual just looks at you all with a sort of a grin on his face. As he's just like, look, come on, be reasonable. The only thing we need is the creatures. You don't need to die. No one needs to die. Just give us the freaking animals, okay?
What do you need them for?
What do you need them for? A wish? So do we.
You're not
Not to
having-
mention, have you ever seen an adult dragon? I mean, and he's just kind of pointing at the dragon at your feet. You take that thing and you just teach it right. You teach it to obey your every command. And I mean, you just point at a country and say, I want that one.
That sounds like a bad word. It starts with an S. And ends with a not gonna happen. Look,
What?
it sounded better in my head, guys. It sounded better in
Oh,
my head.
it's not gonna happen.
I have a book of words later that you can borrow, Jarrell.
You know,
But
man.
For now,
you know, you can do your book. Anyway, but
teach you. Yes, but we got something better to worry about.
This is all the time.
Come on, look, be reasonable. You have no loyalty to each other, right? So why are you gonna go through this? Huh? Why are you gonna die for some random people that you've just been bundled with? Give us the creatures, we'll pay you handsomely, and then we can all be happy and just go about our lives.
How about you come here and kiss my battle axe?
See, there's 3 things you don't
What
do,
she said.
and you just did 2 of them. You know that, right?
What do you mean?
1, pointing at the princess, you don't piss off a barbarian. 2, you don't threaten a druid.
I was hoping for a 3.
3, you respect your elders, young man.
Fine. You want to do it that way? Fine. Don't tell me why after this whole thing blows over and you're all on the floor, probably with less bones that you had in the beginning. Don't tell me that I didn't warn you.
Guiding bolt
As
to the
you
face.
see the individuals that are in front of you with the tunics, they basically just start pulling out weapons as we will roll for initiative.
Sweet.
Bum 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 bum.
Oh, no.
Very well. Let's have you roll initiative.
Oh.
Have you roll initiative?
Sweet.
Ooh,
I forgot to click my counter.
Oh,
I rolled an 18, but I forgot to click my counter.
that one. But that one. And last but not least, let's have Timmy roll for initiative as well. Why does everyone have -2? Jesus. Anywho, okay.
Could DM
Yes.
add me to the turn order? I forgot to click.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sorry.
And you were 18.
Why are you?
There you go.
Ta.
So, with that being said, tensions are getting high. These 2 individuals have apparently made an offer. You apparently refused. Crow, it is your turn. You, I'll say that for simplicity's sake, your animals kind of like, you don't need to worry about your animals. They will, protect themselves and move away. Step out of the combat.
Good.
I don't want this to be one of those missions in video games where you have to protect the stupid NPC.
Oh no, but if it's an animal, that's okay. If it's a person, it's when it gets annoying. I don't want to protect Ashley all the way through the game.
Okay, so if I were to cast my spell right here, would a 10-foot radius get all 5 of these guys?
10 foot. No.
No, right.
No.
Okay.
Because basically to get them with the spell, is it a point or is it like from a square off? Can you click the spell? Or the ability or whatever?
It's a magnified gravity.
Centered on a point.
Yeah.
10-foot sphere.
Just whoever would catch like within this.
You can get 3 of them. Yeah, 3 of them. These 2 red ones and that individual with the red cap. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If it'll only get them, because I was trying to see how many it'll get into a bunch. All right. Yeah. If it'll get those 3, yeah, it'll be okay. Yeah, and this
There
will
you
be cast at. Hold on. If I cast
At
it-
second level?
Yep.
So it's a Constitution saving throw. So I need you.
Constitution of 14.
So that is a 19 on a red cap individual. And the other 2. So that is a 21 and a 7.
Ooh, okay, so then the 2 that succeed
So it's-
will take...
So it's. Is that
The
already?
2
Yeah, 3d8. Okay,
Yeah, the
succeed. It takes 7, and 14. Come on,
Mhm.
14. There we go. Yeah, gravity in that point just begins to compress, pulling it to the ground. You see that the individual in the red cap was maybe like just leaning a little bit on the fountain, and he's just like, ooh, okay. You wanna play? Let's play.
Yep, and until the start of my next turn, any object that isn't being worn or carried in the sphere requires a successful strength check.
Okay, and this guy is speed reduced. Let's do this. There we go. So, anything else, Crow? Do you want to move or something like that?
No, I'm kind of okay for right here.
Very well. Willow, it is your turn.
Can I? I'm in 2 minds. I'm in 2 minds, but I think Willow will mostly. She'll default to defensive more than offensive. Even if she's angry, she'll default to offensive. So, with that in mind, can I hold a? How old is this? Actually, how old is this? Can I? No, I'm just gonna cast it. Yeah. Can I cast Shield of Faith on? Oh, it's a bonus action. Then I absolutely will cast Shield of Faith then. So I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith. Oh, but if I can't cast anything else or do anything else because it's a
Yeah.
concentration one, isn't it? In
Yeah.
that case, dang
Also,
it.
Jarell, get ready.
Yep.
In that case, I will cast resistance on who is wearing what. So can I cast resistance on Jarell?
Cool.
And for a bonus action, I want to cast Shield of Faith on. I'm gonna cast it on Rivet because I have a feeling he's gonna get himself in danger. So I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on Rivet.
Sorry, what did you do?
Cast Shield of Faith on Rivet.
Okay. Very well.
How do I explain BVT? There we go.
So I'm going to put this for concentration. And Shield of Faith. I'm going to give you... It's a good shield. There you go. Let's go. No, let's go with this beautiful... There was this... I think this one. Shield of Faith. There we go. Rivet, your AC goes up by 2. Well.
All right.
If you have
Anything
any
else?
kind of armor, it's gonna glow blue.
There are orcs around.
Yeah, pretty
Alright.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, big part of my head. My body just says, just think he's not very happy with me. Yes, you know.
Do you want to move, Willow?
No, I'm happy to stay where I am.
Very well.
Get friggin'
Jarell.
cornered by this troll now.
Jarell, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Can't talk. Did the Phoenix leave?
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that they're not in harm's way, so they're safe.
Right. I want to make sure that Buddy was taken care of first. But next, I'm gonna punch my arm gauntlet there and say, "Form, starry form." And you just hear, of course, I get a swooshy background and I start glowing, and you see my skin takes on that looks like the universe again. And this time you hear a growling in the background, and I just say, "I'm a dragon," as I take on my dragon form. And because I do weird space stuff, I'm gonna aim both my hands at I'm gonna aim one hand at this guy, right? This scumbag right here. Hold on.
Which one?
El Scumbago Uno.
Yeah.
And El Scumbago Dos. And I'm gonna use more crazy druid stuff. I'm gonna actually use the meta magic. I'm gonna use twin spell.
So you took
Sorry,
the
just thinking
form
back.
of the dragon. So a constellation of a wise dragon appears on you. When you make an intelligence or wisdom check or constitution saving throw to maintain
Wow.
its constitutional spell, you can roll. You can treat a 9 or lower as a 10. Okay.
And also, we're also gonna be doing this. We're using a sorcery point for a twin spell. And I'm gonna be splitting, and each of my hands are pointed like finger guns, and I'm gonna fire a guiding bolt at each of those guys.
Very well.
Pew, pew.
So first shot's coming at
It's you.
first. We're doing it at first level too,
Sorry.
and we're doing it at first level.
Very well. So that is a roll to hit on, let's say, the first one here, and then the second one here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well. Now, why did it turn it green? Unfortunately, 13 does not hit.
Okay. One misses, and let me fire the other guy here.
You shoot it, and the guy just kind of like hops out of the way, like, oh my!
Oh
And the other
God!
one. Why is it doing?
I don't know, it's
Portals.
doing weird stuff. But that was just a bad roll too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, again, that one hits a bit of the statue. These two individuals seem to be very wily. Anything else, Jarell?
That's it for now. Just gonna stand there and just sizzle like Michael Jackson.
You definitely see this individual here just looking at the one with the red cap as he just says, "Hello, and be careful!" Yep, he's just being careful. This, actually, I need a thing to take notes. Okay. And so, Jarell, that is your turn. Ivana, it is your turn. What would you like to do? You see that these individuals in front of you, the tunics ones, they seem to be... They do not seem to be reacting to a lot. They seem to be very unresponsive.
So, could I get to this asshole without attacks of opportunities?
No. I'm just saying that they seem to be very unresponsive in terms of, like, for example, this one got blasted with the magnified gravity. You didn't hear like a ouch or a ooch or anything like that. they seem to just kind of take it, and maybe you heard a little bit of a. So, what would Ivana like to do?
Gonna fly over to this guy.
Okay.
I would like to rage.
Very well.
I love how people always say that so politely.
Where were you? Sorry, before?
By Rivet.
By river.
By river, right? Here. Right? Do you fly? So the thing is, to avoid getting attacks of opportunity, you would have to fly up, and to fly up, you cannot reach that individual. Actually, I do need to know. What's your flight speed? Sorry.
Flight speed.
1 second, please. Princess.
My flight speed's
Yeah.
equal to my walking speed.
So it's 30 feet, yeah. So because of the 30 feet and because you're there, to avoid getting a smack, basically you take 25 feet to get there. And 5 feet is not enough to get distance on these guys. So are you risking the attacks of opportunity?
Sure.
So I'll say that you can go over one of these to avoid to not just get two guys swinging at you. So this one guy will try to swing at you. The sword, and it's an 11, so that misses. Swings wild. Very well. You are near that individual. What would you like to do?
I would like to rage.
Very well.
Ooh, wild surge.
Oh, yes.
No.
3, what is the 3? And
Copy paste that.
Crow, get ready. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Flump. Oh, the flump one.
Flump.
Where would you like the flump to appear? Okay, I'll put this to symbolize the flump.
He
Oh,
can-
wait, I don't think you
I'll
put
put
Rivet
in
on
between
the
these
initiative.
two.
That's a little bit on me because my head shut down for me for a moment, for a bit there.
So we have Kronig.
So I can just go at last there. They're last.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah,
Turn.
make it easier.
Where are you? There. I'm gonna put it there. Boop. Okay. So where would you like the flump to go, Nikki?
He can go in between these two.
Between these two? Like here?
Down, like, here.
Oh, these two. Very well. The little flump, hello, appears there. And anything else?
I'm gonna take a
What
swing.
would you like to do?
I'd like to swing.
Very
at
well.
this guy.
Go for a swing.
You pissed off the wrong group.
Oh, wow.
That definitely hits.
Bite his head off!
4, 6. Two-handed. So 8 slashing damage. Very well. Slink. You see, it's a good, sizable cut on this individual. As you just hear, like, damn it! Anything else, Ivana?
I'm gonna give Crow Bardic Inspiration.
Very well. You just look at Crow and tell him some inspiring words. They need to do dexterity saving throws, left and right. That is a 13. Does a 13 pass the flump thing?
It's my spell save, isn't it?
Yeah.
13, right?
Yeah.
That passes.
Okay, so this one passes. The other one got a -1. So that is cool. So roll a d6, please. Very well. This one takes 3. Flump goes and explodes. I'm gonna put him to the side. I believe you can control him. So whenever you want to summon him, summon it. Let me know. Very well. At the end of your and do you want to move or anything like that? Oh, you don't have any movement left.
Yeah.
I believe. At the end of your turn, this individual, you just see him like, come on, just smacking on his chest. As I need pretty much everyone to roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
No, wait, yeah. Oh no. Really?
So that is 1 failure, 2 successes,
Oh, come on.
and another failure.
Be gentle. I'm an old lady.
Okay. Ivana, you succeeded, so never mind. Very well. So everyone except Willow and Rivet succeed. So everyone that failed, you are currently frightened of this red-capped, tiny individual. Yes?
May I interject for a tiny second, please? Can I have an
Pence?
advantage of mine for being brave?
Yes, you know.
Oh, yes, you're a halfling. Very well.
Yes!
Roll again.
Yes!
I'll
Yay!
see if I can.
I don't know if that's gonna work.
Very well. You feel the fear, but then you realize that individual is a halfling. You are a halfling. Why are you afraid of it? You
Yeah. Scared me.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of you throughout my youth. Rowdy boys, roadman. But very well. So it's only Rivet. You feel that this tiny dude with a massive beard and just a completely savage look on his face and a red cap is just I don't think he's all there in his head. That definitely does not look okay. And you are currently frightened. So you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the creature is within line of sight, and you cannot willingly move closer to it. And that was that guy's turn, that guy's thing. And this other guy will because you're not immune to the condition, this will have to do. Ivana, you see this guy in front of you as you kind of swung for him. He then kind of tries to respond back as he goes for a sweep, like a smack on your wings. And I need you to make a strength saving throw. You have advantage because you are raging.
Knock him out.
Sweep the leg. No problem.
Sweep the leg.
This guy, bastard, went for your wings, but you are still sturdy. This is not the first time someone's tried to, just wank on your, just kind of pull on your wings. So it's not a problem. That is them. Now it's their turn. So this individual. This individual will try to. Sure. Let's go for that. So, 20-foot radius. Yeah. So, surprisingly, in front of you, Crow, you start seeing this sort of weird starry gateway appear, as you just see these sort of like weird tendrils and unmentionable horrors just sort of like pouring out into reality. This sort of black, bitter, cold kind of gets at your bones, and I need basically I need you four to you four are currently except for Rivet, very well. You are currently blinded as this whole area becomes pure pitch black darkness, as you just hear this sort of cacophony of like soft whispers and like noises and just it is very disconcerting. That is it for now. I'm just gonna add this thing here. 21st circle, black, that.
Oh no.
And I'm gonna do it like this so that you all can see. There you go.
Just checking that this basically the darkness spell.
Similar to the darkness spell. So it does say no light, magical, or otherwise can illuminate the area, and creatures fully within the area are blinded. Oh.
I was gonna say that's darkness.
Yeah. So everyone is currently blinded except for Rivet. So you all find yourselves in a very similar situation as before. But however, unlike darkness, you do feel this sort of cold aura, in this area. It's kind of hard to explain, but you just feel uneasy as you kind of hear whispers. You cannot see anything around you, and you just hear these sort of whispers, very not nice. And that is his turn. And he will try to, again, Ivana, roll me a strength saving throw, please.
Is that still with advantage?
Yes, with advantage. I mean, yes. You don't need to roll more, but sure. You are very well. So, that is his turn. Now it's his friend. His friend sees Ivana and will definitely go for you. As you see him kind of takes a couple of steps and just starts dashing towards you like a crazy madman, as he's just like, "Ah!" And I need you to make me another strength saving throw. As this guy's just kind of like shoulder against you, trying to knock you down. Against your wings, let's call it.
Ooh.
Advantage.
Oh.
Damn it. So unfortunately that does not work. But then he basically goes for 2 swipes at you, one with his fist and one with his weapon. So that is a 17 and an 18.
Are they both?
Both hit.
Yeah.
So that is, in total, it's 16 technically slashing and piercing. But you half it, so 16, so that is 8 damage to Ivana. And that is their turn. Now it's these. Okay, these guys pretty wildly, but let's do this. And they will go for a smackaroon, but with disadvantage because they are kind of rolling blind. That is a 7. So, Rivet, you feel definitely something kind of zoop. Oh, wait. You are currently frightened. Let me just double check a thing.
Uh,
Right, and the creature has disadvantage. Oh yeah, it's just you have disadvantage. No one gets advantage. Very well. So that was a miss on one of them, and a 15. Does that hit you?
You do have
15
plus
does
2
hit.
AC still for your
But-
Shield of Faith.
Yeah,
Right.
with Shield of Faith, does it hit you?
With those +2, I have 14.
Oh, we have 14. Oh, you have really low AC. So yeah, you
Yes.
get 5 bludgeoning damage as you just feel a hand in the middle of the, I mean, you see perfectly well, they don't. So they're just swinging wildly as you just get basically clocked across the face with a club. And that is their turn. You just hear from behind you, Jimmy! As you just hear, goom, 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 goom. The foot's, oh my god, my table whole fucking shook. You have to be careful. But yeah, Timmy just steps forward. And yeah, that's pretty much his turn.
Oh,
Way to
his
go.
name's Timmy.
Way to go, Timmy.
Oh, don't give it a
Um,
name. You start giving it a name, I start getting attached to it.
It's Timmy. I don't.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
this.
It was the red cap that frightened me, or which one was
Yes,
it?
the red cap. Yes.
Yeah. I
Um,
actually gonna do something really funny at this point.
It's not your turn yet. One second.
Is it? All right.
No, it's not.
I
These guys technically don't see. So this one goes to. I'll say this one goes here. This one goes forward.
Forward.
Let's see. One is rivet to his crow. One is rivet to his crow. Skibidi-bidi-boo. It's crow, and then the other one. Let's do the same for Willow or for Jarell. No. Actually, it will go for The dice also said Jarell. So, one for Crow. Crow, you feel a hand just trying to smack at you with disadvantage. So that is, I believe it fails. It's a 5.
Yep.
So you do definitely feel a wild swing in the darkness. And then the other one is a 17 on Jarell. Jarell? Oh, he's currently muted. So that is
I was saying,
5.
yeah, that hits. That hits.
Oh, okay. 5 damage, 5 bludgeoning damage on Jarell as you just get clocked by something in this darkness. And then it's these two. This one definitely goes here and this definitely goes there. So on Jarell again, in pitch black darkness, it's 24 or 23. So 23 hits. That is, 22 hits, sorry. No, it's the smallest one. 21. So that's a 5 bludgeoning damage, extra 5 bludgeoning damage on Jarell. And then this one will swing wildly at Ivana as he cannot see Ivana. That's a 10. Never mind. 12. Never mind. That's their turn. Rivet, it is now your turn. You see perfectly well in this darkness. There are a lot of people around you. However, you do feel this darkness is different from the one you know. You feel cold. You feel, sort of like a bit paranoid, even though you can see around you. You feel uneasy. As you take 11 cold damage.
Oh.
And yeah.
All right. Anyway, he looks towards the red cap and because I can see him regardless. So, and he uses a spell that doesn't require an attack thing. Using vicious mockery.
Okay.
It's a wisdom of 13. I'll do. And it's just big brave red cap trying to frighten little Harrigan.
Vicious mockery. That definitely he fails.
He fails.
As he just hears from the darkness something speaking, and it's just like, what the hell is that? As he takes 3 Dimaggio, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is minus 1d4 on his next whatever, right?
Let me just get the whole spell out so you can see it. There it is.
It's full glory, yes.
Yeah.
Disadvantage on his next attack roll. Okay.
Yeah. Now then, I have a bonus action left, and in fact, I will use that one to use Misty Step, and
Mm-hmm.
as 30 feet, move out. There, I will basically miss way over here.
Okay.
Well, actually, here. So I'm out of the darkness because
Very well.
that was a real chill down my spine.
Yep. I mean, you felt it. As you leave, you kind of feel these tendrils kind of like just trying to reach for you as you... you hell no. Bye.
What? No. Not gonna stay in that darkness.
Anything else?
That is my action and bonus action. I do
Very
have
well.
some movement left, but no. Actually, I need
Very
to double
well.
check something. No, I actually moved away from the red cap with that. Actually, so I'm in full clear. So that's my turn.
Very well. Crow, it is your turn. You feel again that coldness just creeping in your bones and all that. It is unsettling as you take 6 cold damage. Yeah. What would you like to do?
I had a feeling we were gonna probably get into darkness again, but I thought it was gonna be maybe during the Kraken thing. But
You are
so
currently blinded, so you don't really see
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, so I have the spell Shadow Blade, which is like it says whenever I summon it, and like if I'm using it like in a hold on.
Click it, please. Better blade. Let's till the spell ends. When you use the sword to attack a target that is in dim light or darkness, you must make it with advantage. Okay, yeah.
Yay! So would it still be with advantage, or would it just be like
Uh,
regular?
It basically cancels it out. It cancels itself out because
Okay, so-
you are blinded. But it's almost like the blade kind of feels through the darkness and it knows where it needs to go.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast it, and no one can see it, but like yeah, basically a blade just like suddenly appears in his hand.
No one can see it. Never mind. You don't need to describe it. No one can see it.
Yep.
Only
Yep.
describe it, but send it like via message to Rivet. Just
Yeah.
here's what Rivet sees.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't really have like any button for me to like make a hit attack for it.
Finesse. So it's finesse. So it's you could attack with strength or dexterity. Which one would you prefer?
Dexterity. So I'm gonna roll a d20 plus
Yep.
1. Wow.
And you are proficient with it, so it's d20 plus 1 plus 2, so it's plus 3. Oh, no, sorry, that's a Bivana. Yes, it's still the same.
No,
So
yeah,
1d20
so
plus 3.
I missed. That's a total of 7.
Unfortunately, 7. I'll say that maybe you're trying to go for this one. Just swings like very wildly and doesn't get there.
I knew that was probably gonna fail. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. I don't think this requires any action. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and use my arcane recovery to give me a spell slot back. And so, well, let me double check this. So, am I allowed to use a leveled spell as a bonus action if it says so, if it allows it? Or am I not
You-
allowed to use?
No, because you've already used the bonus action to cast Shadow Blade.
No, Shadow Blade is. Oh,
It's a
oh,
bonus action.
oh, Shadow Blade is a bonus action. Oh, never mind. I totally thought it was a full-on action for its attack and everything. Never mind then. I guess I'll probably it for my actions. I'm probably gonna.
Would
Is
you
this
like to move?
Yeah, is this the thing we're worrying about too?
You do not see it, but
But
I'll
no,
say that you
like,
do. You
well,
do
it was,
definitely feel the cocoon on the floor. Yes, the big vibrations coming from that area.
like it was down here before. Did we see that?
Yeah. I'll say that you are aware that something big is coming from below.
Cheese it.
Yeah, it's just that I don't know where I'm gonna be running to because I can't see anything. So
I'll say, if you want to run to a specific direction, I'll have you roll. Obviously, you won't roll again. You won't run against Willow, but I'll have you roll like a wisdom to see if you like maintain your awareness enough so that you can run through this darkness.
okay, I was thinking like diagonal, like over here.
Okay, roll me a wisdom saving throw, please, or a wisdom check, not saving throw. I'll say the DC is not very high because you were with your eyes open before this happened. Wow. Okay.
I go in the opposite direction.
Roll me a D3, please. It's a bit of a weird command, but /R 1D3.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna say 1 is basically you run left. 2 is you run diagonally, and 3 you run down.
Oh, don't pray
Ooh.
for 3.
You wanna go meet Timmy? Hey, how much do you want to run, by the way? I'll say that you can run 20 feet and you're out of the darkness as you just kind of like, maybe you just start running through some hedges and all that. And just like, oh, fuck my legs. As you're out of this darkness.
Okay, yeah, this would stop me then. This.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can clearly see that like either you could just like run through it or jump or go just around. It ends here basically. You can go cross there.
Okay. Oh, I was just gonna like move right here.
Oh, very well.
Yeah, that would probably be it then.
Very well. Willow, same thing. You feel the coldness hitting you as you take 4 cold damage. Wow, Rivet really took the brunt of it.
I know, right?
It is your turn, Willow, and actually, I need you to roll me a concentration check, please.
No. Okay. Oh no.
That is enough, just barely. But it's enough for you to maintain the concentration. But you're being like, this is very, very like disconcerting. Like this whole situation, it's very stressful. It is your turn. What do you want to do? And Jorel, get ready, by the way.
I would like to run north east, please, out of the darkness.
There is a Jorel in the way.
Does Jarell class as a creature that is one size larger than me?
I'm medium.
Yeah, he is medium. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna use my halfling nimbleness to skippity Scooby under his feet. Do we need to?
I'll-
Do you need me to? Go on, sorry.
Similar to Crow. I'll have you roll a wisdom check, please.
Feet don't fail me now.
Please don't.
Yeah, you're fully aware of everything.
I'm always
You remember-
something.
You remember where Jorel was.
I'm skipping between your feet. Can also as my action, can I disengage so I don't get so that like the guy there doesn't. This guy doesn't hit me.
No one sees it aside from Rivet, I suppose. But you basically go on the floor and just start crawling underneath Jorel's legs. And yeah, feel free to pass.
Blah, blah, is that enough there? Yeah.
Very well.
Then let me just check.
You see the light, and you see that Ivana is currently surrounded.
Surrounded, and then I want to, as my bonus action, I would like to cast Healing Word for Rivet, who's currently dying on the other side of.
You do not see Rivet.
I don't. I can't.
No, no, because this is just a ball of darkness right now.
Damn.
I would say if you're like in a position like this, like similar to how this guy is, I'd allow you to, like, with the curvature of the sphere, sure, you could see Rivet. But
So-
as from that position, you cannot see Rivet.
I thought healing word, like, as long as you, like, if you're able to shout loud enough for them to
Actually-
hear you.
actually-
I think
It's-
that
healing
is-
word is basically everyone who can hear you, if I'm not correctly.
Or indeed.
It says
That is-
components. It's V. Doesn't mean I have to see it.
Verbal. No, verbal.
I thought.
It does say a creature of your choice that you can see within range.
Damn.
Right.
Damn. Right. Okay. I will.
We're not gonna hear Willow yell.
Get down, Mr. President.
Yeah. What would you like to do?
I'm thinking. I'm going to go on maybe a slight offense then and cast spiritual weapon.
Very well.
Where are you? You are here. Cast.
Sorry, I'm just getting your spiritual weapon from a different map.
No problem.
Where do you want it?
I want it next to the Nomi guy. The one that looks like a little mini Jack the Ripper. Yeah, him.
This one. Okay.
Yeah.
And you want to go for a swing?
Yes, please. Did it not come through?
Oh, no, it did.
Sorry.
20 definitely hits, yes. For 9 force damage.
Beat him up! Beat him up! Beat him up!
I need to do thing. He got a 10. Nice. You create your weapon. The weapon materializes, and immediately, like, it's almost like as it appears, it is already like half swing. And as it's going for this guy, you see that he just out of nowhere, he has like his cane. That is kind of the thing that apparently he's doing stuff with. He just smacks it like on the floor just before he gets hit. And you see that there's like this sort of barrier just kind of protects him, basically.
Oh. Cute trick.
Thank you.
That's me done. I don't have anything else, unfortunately.
So he tried that, so he cannot do that. But he will just say to his friend,
Lowen, come on, just smack her already.
As whoever Lowen is will try to smack Ivana with disadvantage. That is an 18. Does that hit?
Yeah. That's a hit.
That's 10 piercing damage or 5 piercing damage on Ivana as you get smacked by this sort of barbed weapon that he has. Let's call it a sort of a spiky pickaxe. And that was his turn. Jorel, it is your turn. By the way, Ivana, who did you give Bardic Inspiration to?
Crow.
Sorry, who?
Crow.
Oh, Crow. Okay. Just needed to keep track of that. Very well. Jorel, what would you like to do?
Okay. These guys are stuck in darkness too, right?
Yes.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. Seeing as I know that I've been hit from 2 different directions, right, guys? I know I'm surrounded. So
Yeah.
there's only one direction I can go functionally, and that's up. Bonus action. I'm actually gonna assume I'm actually gonna use my radiant consumption to actually eject my wings.
Okay.
And I'm gonna fly straight up as far as I can go.
Oh, because of the Asimar thing, yes.
Yeah. Where the hell is my thing?
Very well. They will try to smack you.
And it's a disadvantage, right?
Oh, wait. First of all, Jorel, you take 7 cold damage.
Oh wow.
Can I use my reaction to absorb elements?
You could. It's cold damage, so yeah.
Great. I'm gonna absorb that cold damage.
Very well.
I don't know why
You
it rolled
cast.
best, but that's okay.
Very well. You will sort of like as you get smacked and you just like your wings are pushing off and lifting. You feel some of that cold kind of continue with you as you continue with you as you fly up. And I'll put like a little tiny thing so that you know that you have that. And you are currently flying. How high do you want to go?
My maximum height I can reach is 30 feet. So I'm actually gonna
Well.
go about how high I want to go until I breach the darkness. If this is a dome.
So it's
Whatever.
if it's 20, 20 feet radius. So I'll say you need to go like 25, and you'll be out of
Yes.
the darkness.
Let's do it.
Okay. I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna put the wing with a 3, just because it's there. I cannot register a 2.5 or a 25 in the little token, but we know that you're basically above the darkness. What would you like to do?
I'm actually taking a look at my bonus actions here, and there's not much else I can do because that was an action to actually use my starter form in my other one. So now I've got my wings out. Damn it.
Oh yeah, and they try to go for smacks on you with disadvantage. So that is. So it's 19 on one.
Ow. What
And the other-
disadvantage?
Yeah, both. He rolled 2 17s basically.
Good.
And
Lord.
then the other one is a 13. The 13, I believe, that doesn't hit. Right?
13 is my AC.
Yes, it does hit. So you get smacked for 5 bludgeoning damage, basically, as you lift off.
Total?
Basically,
Okay,
3 from one, 2 for the other.
Oh, good. Not that good, but okay. Yeah, so I cleared the darkness, and I'm up there, and I'm out of their range, 40 fingers. And that's all I can do right now.
Very well. So this guy's already done that and that. So this guy is gonna try to go. Yeah, this guy's just gonna go for a smack now that he doesn't have disadvantage on Ivana. He's gonna try to smack Ivana for 14. Does that hit?
Miss. That's a miss.
Ivana?
Miss. That misses.
Very well. You just feel this, sort of clawed hand just go a bit wide, and now it is your turn. And Rivet, get ready.
Yes.
I'll resummon my friends.
Ivana, what would you like to do?
I'll summon my flump again.
Very well.
Put him there. I'm gonna call my flump Ollie. And I'll take a swing at this guy.
At which one? The one with the red hat or the Jack the Ripper one?
The one with the red hat.
Very well. That 14 unfortunately will not hit. As you go for a swing with your axe, and he kind of just blocks you with his pickaxe. As he's like, it's just crazed look on his face, and he's just like, yeah, come on. Anything else, Ivana?
Ollie explodes.
As he's just like looking at you, yeah, and then the fluff explodes. So that is on him. That is on the other. So that is a 15 and a 3. 15 saves it, right?
Yeah.
Very well. Roll for 1d6, please. Bye, Ollie.
Finally.
So that 2, 5, and he needs to roll me a concentration check. He does make it. Anything else, Ivana?
That's me.
Very well. As the turn comes to an end, he drops it. There's no longer anyone there. Why is he focusing on that? So the gnome is gonna move away from this whole shenanigan situation. That is 20. Would you like to go for an attack of opportunity?
Yes.
Do it.
Get back here, chicken butt.
Oof, 23
Hell
definitely
yeah.
hits. Unfortunately, as you go for the swing, he kind of just looks back again with the cane kind of smacking on the floor, and that little ward protects him once more. As now that he's within a more safe distance, he looks at you, Ivana, and just points the cane and just says, "Why won't you just die?" And you see this sort of black energy bolt, like almost like a black lightning, just making its way towards you. And that's an 11. So it does not make its way towards you. The 19 does, however, right?
Yeah.
19 hits you, right,
Yep.
Ivana?
Yes.
So that is 9 necrotic damage that just... You feel this sort of like... Almost like your energy being drained from where the bolt hits. You feel weak and your skin kind of like drying and cracking over in that region. Does necrotic get halved?
I don't think so.
I believe it is not. What type of... Oh, you're a wild magic barbarian.
Yes.
So, Roger. Resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. So necrotic is fine. So 9 necrotic damage. And that is his turn. His friend, however, will go for... I guess the usual. No, actually, he will... Because he's having fun, you see him kind of taking a couple steps back, a bit like a boxer, kind of, just giving himself a little bit of space. And then he just kind of like takes aim and just like goes for like a flying fist on your face. He does not go for a flying fist on your face, because that's an 11. He just swings and misses. But then still with the other hand, with the pickaxe on you, in 20. 20 hits, right? That's 9 piercing damage, halved. Let's do 4. And that is his turn. No, that is here. I guess let's put him here. That is Lowen's turn. Now it's Blues. Blues are here. I'm going to say this one goes for Rivet. This one goes for Crow. So, smack on Rivet for nat 20.
Oh.
That is 9 bludgeoning damage. And then another one for Rivet. That is a 14. Does that hit?
14 does hit even with
No.
that.
Oh, sorry, not on Rivet. On Crow, sorry.
Alright.
Crow, that will hit, but as a reaction, I am going to use shield.
Very well. You see this hand just making its way, this club just making its way towards you, and you just, the shield kind of goes a little bit around it even, and kind of just pushes it out. That was its turn, and now you just hear, as Crow, I need you to make me either an athletics or an acrobatics.
I'll take acrobatics.
And don't forget, you have bardic inspiration if you need to use.
Oh, yep, totally forgot. Okay, yep, acrobatics. Yeah, because
As basically you just see this Timmy individual just starts like basically running like.
Oh,
Wow.
Yep, crow's not an athletic one. Or very
Okay.
acrobatic.
Crow, you you and Timmy go through the bushes. And yeah, you just basically get bulldozed. And you take 10 bludgeoning damage and are knocked prone.
Son of a bitch.
And I need you to roll me a concentration check. What are you concentrating on, by the way?
The Shadow Blade.
Yes.
Oh yeah, concentration. It's a saving throw or a check?
Saving throw.
Okay.
It's basically to see if you maintain the concentration.
Nope.
Unfortunately, as you
well,
hit the ground, your head kind of just poof.
Nah, you could just say like it drops. Like if it leaves my hand, it just disappears.
And suddenly it just kind of fades off. That was Timmy's turn. The Reds are with Jarrell.
Dizzy.
This guy is no longer bad. He will try to make his way towards Willow. Because Willow is by herself. By her lonesome. So this is on Willow, and the other one's on Jarrell. 11 on Willow, 24 on Jarrell. Oh no, no, never mind. Jarrell is on the air.
Yeah.
Never mind. He goes for Willow. 22 on Willow. Does that hit?
Yes, it does. A little bit.
3 bludgeoning damage, as you just get basically clubbed in the back of the head. And I need you to make a concentration check. And then these are the boys. This boy goes here.
Boy.
Oof. Unfortunately, the Shield of Faith drops.
oh boy.
Let me check a thing, by the way, just to make sure I'm not misleading you all. No, not this. So, by the way, Rivet, you're no longer afraid of that individual. And then the other one goes for a smack on Willow. That's a 12, does not hit, I believe.
It's bang on in my AC as well.
Oh, you have a really low AC. 5 bludgeoning damage, as again, these guys are just basically like wailing on you with like clubs. Rivet, it is your turn.
All right. You know, I am considering stuff. Now that I'm not frightened the same way. First of all, I will take my bonus action to do Misty Step, so I don't provoke. I shouldn't provoke, or does it? Briefly reserve a silver Misty. See, no, it doesn't say anything about that. So I will take opportunity to attack guard. No, I will actually, in fact, move up like this first. Take that
Cool.
opportunity attack.
Very well. 17,
17 does hit.
5 bludgeoning damage.
Ooh. I'm starting to look really roughed up. But anyway,
Rivet is limping.
Yeah, Rivet looks at this red cap. He just puts his hand together, just and tries to be funny as he just spin around a little bit, with and just for flair, and just says to and screams out to this little red cap. Say hello to my stinky little friend! As he cast a Eldritch Blast.
Oh, why is it stinky? Okay.
He just flaring it out, but it did not work at all.
I was gonna say
Unfortunately, yeah.
you don't want to know where it comes out of.
Eldritch horrors. Anywho, pew. Yeah, it just goes vroom, very wide. As the the red cap guy just looks at you and she's like, "That was disgusting."
But that didn't go as planned. As he looked at the very illusionary thing that he just did for the flare of it. Oh, that stinks. As then sees this creature. As he rushes off the rest of the 25 feet he has.
What?
Away from that one.
You see as you run off, this thing kind of like barely is looking at you, and as you run off, it kind of like just snaps to you as you run away. Anything else? Rivet.
I still have my bonus. And I just realized I don't have that many bonus actions spell. No, there's nothing else I can do.
Very well. Crow, it is your turn, and Willow, get ready. Crow, you're currently on the floor. You have big old Timmy. He just kind of basically pushed you through the fences with a club. You have a couple of twigs on your hair. What would you like to do?
I'll use half my movement to get up real quick, and he's just
Very well.
Okay, that was a wagon that hit me. That was a man. And just like looking up at him, he's just,
Baby.
God damn. Why is it always the big guys? And let's see. So I want to use a vortex warp, but not on like a target, but like on me. Would that be possible?
Sure. Sure, why not? Rule of cool. You technically cannot see yourself, but let's just say that, yeah, you kind of just instead of like pointing at a place, you kind of just point at yourself.
I was gonna say myself. I can see my.
and you choose to fail, I suppose. Yes.
Yep, and I am going to teleport myself away from this guy. I want to say, or
yeah.
I was gonna be like some being, and let's see. So the only things I could see is like from like over here. So yeah, I guess like right. Yeah, you guys right here.
Sure.
And the way it
just
kind of looks is just like similar to how he kind of makes the gravity kind of like pressure down. He kind of does this is like he actually is like opening up as if like gravity is like kind of tearing itself apart and just like kind of walking through a small little void and then like opening up another one in a different spot.
Very well. At the end of your turn, you see this individual's just yell out some orders to this individual.
Yeah. Yep, there's you that we have to worry about as well. Damn.
Anything else, Crow?
Yep. So let's see. That was the action. Okay, yep, that was shield. Let's see. Let's see, as a bonus action. I'm going to move a bit right here. Let me double check. Okay, yep. Moving right there just a bit.
Okay.
And so this guy is within 30 feet of me. I'm going to bonus action kinetically shove him back over. He has to do a strength save of 14.
Very well. Nat 20.
Nothing's working. Gravity in the universe is against him now.
You try to push it, but you see that this individual basically is also very gifted with magical arts.
Yeah, I was just like, Crow's he's pretty weak right now as well too. Besides, so yeah, just like him going like repulse, it's not really working.
Very well. Willow, it is your turn, and Jarell, get ready.
Okay, so. I really wish everyone wasn't so far away. Okay, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to do for my action. I'm going to channel divinity, preserve life, and I want to give. Oh, you're so far away. I want to give 10 HP to Ivana, 5 HP to Jarell, and 5 HP to myself.
Woohoo!
So, well, I'm just trying to keep track of what everyone's lost so far. 20. And 5 HP for myself. And then I want to bonus action for my little sword to. Oh, who do I want it to go to?
Gonna swing at Ivana? Just, yeah.
I want to go. How far? Oh, how many steps does it need to take? I say steps. It doesn't really take any steps, but you get what I mean.
No, I do like the idea of the staff, like boink, 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 boink.
As a bonus action to 20 feet. Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take a swing at. Can I move this? Oh, I want to move the little sword thing towards red cap guy.
You should be able to move it, can you not?
I can't. Unless I'm.
Oh, it's because you're currently on the ruler, I believe. You need to move.
My
Yeah.
bad.
Very well. Go for a swing. Swing at disadvantage, though, because you see that this individual has taken a more or less a defensive stance, a dodging stance, as one would say.
Nope. So the first one is an 11, and the second one is a 15.
An 11, unfortunately, will not hit, as this individual is just kind of, your weapon comes and it just kind of like swings out of the way.
And then I'm going to shout, "Don't go too far!" at no one in particular. Don't go too far! And then
Very well. Jarell, it is your turn, and Ivana, get ready. Actually, at the beginning of your turn, Jarell, I need... can hear. So I'll say that, can you hear? Yes. Everyone needs to do me a wisdom saving throw, as you just hear the red cap individual just going for berserk, and it's just like, come on! I don't know why he sounded like the fat bastard from Austin Powers, but Nikki, that is I believe as a barbarian you have a advantage on something like that, right?
I don't think it don't have advantage on wisdom saving throws. It's just strength.
Strength. Oh yeah, it's the berserker, I think, that is not frightened.
Right.
So very well. So Ivana fails. Willow, you succeed and very well. And Jarell as well. So no, and why did do I Jarell, why did you roll twice?
Dragon form.
Ah, very well. So yeah, you do succeed, and I need a roll from Rivet. So Ivana. Rivet. Succeed. Fail. Rivet. Okay, I'm gonna roll for Rivet. Wisdom saving throw. That is 12. That unfortunately is a fail. Very well.
Would using the bardic inspiration help me?
It would definitely would. You just need two more, basically.
Okay, it's a D4.
No, it's more than a D4. I think it's a D6, I believe. Let me check. Double check.
Yeah, because I know it levels up later.
It is at the start is a D6. Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, 3. Same thing.
You got a 3?
Yep, it was a 3 on the D4 and like a 3 on the D6.
Okay, then you succeed. You're not afraid. You feel yourself like being a little bit afraid, and you've been run through a wall. Your health is probably like not as good as you generally like it. And then this guy's just still like chirpy for like a little bit more fighting. But then you hear the words that Ivana put in your head, and you're just like, "Let's go. We can do this." Jarell, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm going to first fly. Let's see. Got up to my. Yeah, I'm gonna stay at the height that I am. I'm gonna fly over here,
Very well.
and let me see if I got dope on this guy. Yup. So I'm gonna look at the El Scumbago over here,
Gnome, yes.
and you know what? I was gonna think about this crazy stuff, but I'm actually gonna keep it simple. I'm actually gonna straight up create a small sun right in front of him. So that's gonna be that.
Lemming sphere. Well, for a moment, you're like, I'm just going to keep it simple, and I'm going to do murder.
It's not murder if you're defending yourself.
That is true. That is true. So let's see if this will
Yeah, he's got to be a 12.
controlled by all players. So
Uh,
feel free to move it wherever you would like.
Okay.
As you just bonk, ram the ball into this guy, the sun, the mini sun.
Mm-hmm.
As he needs to do a dexterity save. He got a 14. Unfortunately, he makes it.
Yeah, great.
That
So he only
is
takes half of 5.
2.5. Yeah. Okay.
And
You
do
see,
anything
you
with
see him like, ow, damn it, ow! Not my butt. What else would you like to do, Jarell?
Yeah, that's gonna be it for now.
Very well. Ivana, it is your turn. What would you like to do? You feel a certain fear from this individual with the red cap. He's a bit of a wild person. You, as a barbarian, have heard of berserkers, and this feels all a bit too weird.
Are they gonna go there? Take a swing at this dude.
Very well. Oh, flump there and swing at the individual. It's a swing with disadvantage because the individual that you fear is within line of sight. But still, feel free to swing. That is so far an 18 or yeah, an 18. Yeah, definitely hits. For 10 damage. You cut a massive chunk out of this individual. Bits of the robe kind of open up, and you see that this individual was once a humanoid and is now looking a bit dead. Dead as in like undead, but still up. Anything else, Ivania?
All explodes.
So he needs to make a dexterity saving throw, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
That's an 18. He makes it, but how much damage is it? Basically, we're gonna run up until the end of the turn and then of the round, and then we stop. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Yes.
That is 2. Still hurts. Anything else, Ivano? Do you want to move or something like that?
I'm good.
Very well. So, it's your turn. This individual takes a couple of cool guy steps to the side. Actually, it can take more than that. He can... Now, why would he do that? He'll take a cool couple of steps there. Take aim at you, Jarell, in the sky. And he just looks and says, "You pesky little thing. Wacko, come down. Come play with us." As he shoots for a 23 and a 8. Okay. 23 with 9 necrotic damage.
I'm resistant to necrotic damage.
Very well.
Even though he hits me.
You take 4 necrotic damage as you get... this blast is quite annoying.
Okay.
Hmm.
Conte for the my fireball.
Oh, yeah. Yes, for the flaming sphere, please. My god, you have way too many icons on you. You maintain it. No problem.
Yep.
I believe that is his turn. Yeah. Yeah, that's his turn.
He moved away. Okay.
Lowen, it's his turn. He will kind of hop over the blade and go for... Actually, he'll just make his way towards Willow. Willow, I need you, and Ivana, you get an attack of opportunity if you would like.
Sure.
It is at disadvantage, but still, nonetheless, an attack of opportunity. 24 or 15. 15 does hit. Feel free to roll damage, please. No, I don't think she has Sentinel. That is 7 damage. You go for a good chunk as he kind of takes a couple of stumbles to the side and then continues making his way towards Willow. Willow, I need you to make a strength saving throw, please.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure, yeah.
As this guy's just like, ah! Like, just sort of like jumping, headbutt sway away. I'll
Oh my god.
I'll allow you to attack him if you want. No, do you want to attack him as he comes flying through?
Me?
Yeah, you can just bonk him in the head if you want.
Okay. Okay. I'll straight up smack him on the face. Ba-doom.
Fair. That does hit. Roll for damage on the quarterstaff.
I'ma smack him on the head. How dare you?
As he's just like flying headbutt style, and he's just like no! Smack him right across the face as he kind of like lands, and he stops for it a little bit, and then he kind of lifts his head, just wild look on his face, blood sort of like dripping down from his skull. It's just like kind of going on his eyes. It's not helping towards the fear factor. As this individual is just gonna be like, I'm gonna make you regret that. And he's gonna go for a swing and a swing. So that is a 16 and a 21.
Oh my god, they both hit.
That is 14 damage in total. As this guy's just like, just punching and just swinging his pickaxe like a madman. And that is his turn.
I'm not looking good.
Blue boys. Oh, blue boys don't have anyone to go for. And Rivet is so far away. Everyone's so far away. Well, this guy, he likes Rivet, so he's gonna be like, he's just kind of like lumbers towards Rivet. And this one, 30 feet, he cannot get to anyone. I guess he could go. You can go to Ivana. Yeah, there you go. He goes for Ivana. So swing on Ivana is bada swing. That is an 11. Unfortunately, it's a very wide swing. Ivana, you kind of just parry it with your axe, no problem. The other one goes for Rivet. And ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. 19.
Oh, dang
God.
it.
That-
You don't need to roll that.
It's 2 damage.
2 damage. Well, that's one
Yes.
more than I had.
As you all just see off in the distance, this creature, like in the middle of these like shoulders, just kind of moving along and just like combat happening. You see Rivet off in the distance. This creature approaching Rivet. Rivet tries to block it, but the creature manages to pass through the defenses, and Rivet, I believe, goes down.
Yeah. So, death saving throw for me next.
Let me just put you with a little skull. There we go. And then we have Timmy. Timmy will not do that much, actually. Actually, let me put Timmy underneath you. Actually, why not? Because it's stupid. I feel it's fun. So that is strength. And 1 second. Jarell,
Yeah.
would you like it to be an acrobatics or an athletics?
Athletics?
Very well. You see this monstrous human just boom, 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 boom. He leaps up to try to grab you. And I'd like you to roll, it's a contest, let's go. Roll athletics, please. He does not have athletics.
Oh, God. So terrible.
So, Jarell, you feel this massive creature just grab you by the feet and just start pulling you down with his massive weight.
Ow.
I'll say that because you failed it, you are pulled down. You are currently 10 feet, or, well, technically 15 feet off the ground as you're being pulled down by this massive individual.
Okay.
And that was Timmy's turn. Reds, where are you guys? Swings on Willow. 1 swing, 2 swing. That is an 8. No, a 9 and an 8 on Willow, both miss. And that is a swing on Willow for a 12. Does not hit that, right?
A 12 is AC, bang on.
5 bludgeoning damage on Willow. And a swing. Let's say that this guy positions himself a bit better. 10 on Ivana, that doesn't hit. With that being said, Rivet,
Yes, I will roll that bloody.
roll me a death saving throw, please.
That's a 13.
That's a success. Very well.
Yes.
So, Crow, as we get to your turn, you see it's almost like slow motion. Rivet fell. Jorel is being pulled from the air down by this massive mammoth of a creature. Thoughts start going in your head. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? But with that being said, I think we've been going on for quite a while now. Let's call it a day for today.
Yeah.
And let's pick this up next week, if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I
Well,
kind of
I'll be alive by next week.
I have a somewhat plan of what I want to do.
Okay.
I,
Feel free to, during the week, to kind of discuss like ideas or like ways to go about this. There is still a tiny little trick that might happen, but I don't want to like say too much about it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
The trick is Rivet dead.
No.
And- Rivet comes back as an undead to fight for the bad guys. Ooh.
so it could just be clumsy and Mrs. checks on their team instead.
I mean, attack your own. But with that being said, I think this has been a bit of a hectic day.
Again.
Things were going well. You managed to get to Kraken. You're coming home with all the creatures. Something was a bit fishy. And yeah, there's definitely something on. But we'll see where this goes next week. I hope you've had fun, and I hope next week the outcome is a fruitful one. But in the meantime, have a good week, everyone. And yeah, bye.
Bye.
Right, have a good
Bye.
week, guys.
See
I
ya.
guess like
Have a
the
good night.
only thing I need to. Does Willow still have any? Can she still do any healing?
At the moment, yes, I've written down my next sort of moves or any